hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you by Renault, European technology and design that's affordable. Renault, the one to watch. And by Michigan National Banks, where you get more for your money. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Little Caesars, with over 150 locations in the Detroit metro area to serve you. And by your 48 Greater Detroit area Midas shops. Trust the Midas touch. And by Thornapple Valley's great-tasting hot dogs, hams, bacon, and sausage. And by J.C. Penney, your headquarters for Levi corduroy jeans. Now, from ringside, here's Bruce Martin and Sid Abel.
Hello, everybody. We greet you from the Nassau Coliseum, where tonight the Detroit Red Wings, for the third and final time this season, will be meeting the New York Islanders. We say hi, everybody, and Sid Abel. I thought the Red Wings might have a little mixed-up line tonight because of injuries and trying to get something going. They've reached into their minor league system and brought up a couple of the youngsters, Claude Loisel and Gerard Gallant. But, oh, my goodness, how would you like to put a franchise together with the players who are not going to play for the New York Islanders this evening?
You know, it's just unbelievable, Bruce. Of 27 players here with the Islanders, 14 are scratched either through injuries or with the flu. And they have some big names out, but they still have Trottier, and they still have the nucleus of a hockey club. They'll throw the kids out with them, and they're a tough team to beat.
Well, we'll go over the list of those players who are not going to play tonight, and as Sid said, when you take away the Bossies and the Gillies and a few of the others, Bob Bourne and other ones, you're missing some pretty fair hockey players, and Pat LaFontaine. But by the same token, we're going to look forward to taking a good look at a couple of young guys right out of Detroit who'll be in the Islander uniform tonight. I speak of Mark Hamway and Ken Leader, two Detroit youngsters who played their collegiate hockey at Michigan State University. Sid, what a list. I think you've got it right there of the injured New York players.
Well, Ken Morrow has been out for the season with knee surgery. Bob Nystrom is returning. He has missed the last 28 games, but he's returning tonight. He's been out with a broken hand.
But he's coming back faster than they wanted him to.
Oh, yes, because of the sickness and injuries. Anders Keller is out with a separated shoulder. Stefan Persson out with a broken leg. Clark Gillies with back spasms. Pat LaFontaine, mononucleosis. Tomas Jonsson, a separated shoulder. Gord, Dineen, bruised ribs. Mike Bossy, pulled back muscle. Roger Cordo, sprained ankle. Bob Bourne had 5 ligaments in his hand cut the other night in Los Angeles, and he's out indefinitely. And besides that, they have 3 of the young players out with the flu, although I believe one of them is going to play. But Gord, Lane, Boudelier, and Didick are all supposedly missing the game because of flu.
And I said you could build a franchise.
Yes, I'd like to build a franchise around those names.
Around those players. John O'Grodnik is on the semi-injured list for the Detroit Red Wings. Broke a toe in the game last night that the Red Wings lost to the St. Louis Blues, but he is going to give it a try here this evening against the New York Islanders. The Islanders won the first of the 2 games played, both of them at the Joe Louis Arena. What the Wings can do here tonight against an injury-riddled New York Islander team is something we'll be finding out in just a moment. We'll be back with the opening face-off. Let's pause for this.
That our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And so the singing of the national anthem. We're just a moment or two away from the start of this game between the Red Wings and the New York Islanders here on the island in New York. Bob Myers is the referee for the game here tonight with Gordon Brosecker and Gerard Gauthier, the 2 linesmen, and the Red Wings in goal tonight with Corrado Mikula. Corrado came on, played the 3rd period in the game last evening against the St. Louis Blues, lost by Detroit 6-3. Corrado's played better than a 2-win and 14-loss record would indicate. And Billy Smith will be at the other end of the arena here. A record of 11 wins and 8 losses and a lot of problems from time to time because he swings away at everybody. But it's going to be interesting, Sid, to see how he defends this game, knowing that half his team is gone and he's playing with a lot of youngsters out in front of him. The hockey game is underway, and the youngster Ken Leader flips it into the Detroit zone to start the game. It goes in behind the Red Wing goal. Here's Flatley with it. Flatley holding it in the corner. Left it in along the boards. It came back toward the line, taken away by Steve Yzerman. He's out between O'Grodnik and Duguay. O'Grodnik drives it in behind the New York goal, and after it now is Duguay. Duguay playing it off to O'Grodnik. His pass broken off, though, and brought back down the ice by Greg Gilbert. Ahead it comes to Flatley over the Detroit line. Fired it off the glass into the corner deep in the Detroit zone. Gilbert goes in after it with Trottier there. They dig away at it still. Finally, the play is stopped, and a face-off will stay to the right side of the Detroit goal.
Well, Corrado Mikulev starting for Detroit. Detroit's had a few goaltending problems as of late. Eddie Mio had a bad night last night and got the team behind. And kind of unusual to see Mio put the puck in the net himself a couple times. But Corrado even playing well. For some reason or other, the Wings have not been able to win with him in the nets. And this happens sometimes in sports where the fellow can be outstanding, but for some reason the club does not play well in front of you.
Here's a line for the Islanders I'd have to say will be a hard-nosed, a digging type of a line with Bryan Sutter, Duane Sutter, and Tonelli up front. Now the play stays still in the Detroit zone. There's a drive by Langevin that goes just wide of the net. Hrudey will hold it in on the right side. Flipped it into the corner. One Sutter hands it off to Tonelli. That was Bryan. And it's taken off the boards now by the Red Wings Gallant, who's wearing number 17 in the game. Feeds it off to Colin Campbell. He drives it deep into the New York zone. Now we have the two of the newest Red Wings, Loisel and Gallant, playing on a line with Danny Gere. Bob Mano not dressed tonight, nor is Dave Silk, but the Wings were 2 over the player limit. Puck rolls back into the Detroit zone. They wave off any icing, and back after it, John Barrett. Barrett kicked it ahead. He was knocked down in his tracks by Langevin. Puck picked off, though, by Colin Campbell. Gere hands it off, and here's Barrett bringing it out center ice. John Barrett of Detroit driving it into the corner in the Islanders zone. Langevin goes in after it. Dumps it up the left side. Tonelli has it. Tonelli had it knocked away by Campbell. Picked it up again. Slides it back to his own blue line. Boudelaire will take it there. Now Boudelaire carries into the Detroit zone. Given a bump there by John Barrett. Puck bouncing in behind the Detroit goal, and Danny Gere comes out with it. Here is Gere moving out center ice. Team changing on the move. The puck slides off to the side of the goal. The big cheers for Bob Nystrom, making his appearance here in an Islander uniform for the first time in something like 28 games after suffering the injuries. Mats Allen wearing number 20, hauled to the ice by Greg Smith of Detroit. Digging it out of the corner, 46 is Scott Howson, and he's going to hold it there with Brad Park, and the face-off will be to the left of the Detroit goal. Nystrom is a guy, Sid, that never seems to do much till the playoffs roll around anyway.
Right, he is an up-and-down hockey player, loves playing it rough. Been a standout for the Islanders in their Stanley Cup teams, and as you mentioned, at playoff time, he just comes to the front.
Mats Allen on the left wing and Nystrom on the right side, and Howson centering the line. Howson won the draw, but they whistled it down. They'll go through it again. Darryl Sittler centers the line for Detroit. They have moved Bolderev and Lane Lambert out with that line. Brad Park and Greg Smith. Defensively, here's Nystrom trying to work out in front. Hauled to the ice by Greg Smith. And the puck is held by Mikulev in the Detroit goal, and a face-off again to the left side of the Detroit net.
And that was a typical Nystrom play, just cutting straight across in front of the net. Nothing fancy about him. He just tries to drag everything along with him.
He looks like he might have been ready to come back.
Yes. They said in the paper today that they didn't expect him to play because they didn't feel he was quite ready.
Tiger Williams came on, and there's an elbowing call. Tiger Williams just came on replacing Nystrom. He went right into the face-off circle, and I think he's going to get a penalty. Bob Nystrom has called a penalty, and nobody's moving to the penalty box. It is going to be Williams. We'll be back. Let's pause for this. I think Tiger Williams came on to see if he could handle Nystrom. He made a move, tried to get through, and there's no question of what Myers was just watching him.
The face-off was just as they're getting ready to drop the puck, and I just didn't see what
he gave Allen the elbow, but it was a very small one, and why Myers would call a penalty on that is beyond me. And Williams waited a long time and then looked at the referee with some disbelief, and I think that's one of those, if you're not Tiger Williams, you don't get it. At any rate, he's off for elbowing. The play came back to the blue line. Here's Potvin handing it off to Flatley. Into the corner now, Gilbert. Gilbert playing it deep in the Detroit zone. Trottier put it out in front, but Darryl Sittler intercepts and fires at the length of the ice. An elbowing call to Williams at 2 minutes and 25 seconds. 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in his penalty time now as the Islanders come out. Here's Trottier back into the Detroit zone. Flatley laid it along the boards. Lattiser's pass didn't come out the first time. Trottier ties him up in the corner. They still scramble away after. Trottier gave Lattiser a shove. Duguay couldn't work it out. Flatley holds it in, back on the line. Gilbert plays it off to Potvin. Potvin back on the line. There's a drive by Boudelier that goes wide of the net. Trottier takes it out of the corner, back on the line. Boudelier, another drive, a bouncing puck, and Mikuloff gets down in front of it and holds on.
Good play there by Mikuloff, a deflected puck out about 10 feet in front of the net.
Well, Thursday night, we move right into Manhattan as the Red Wings will face the Rangers. The coaching debut of Craig Patrick. Sid Albury there to bring you all the action at 8 o'clock, TV 20, and this radio station. A move that surprised a few people, the firing of Herb Brooks.
And it's funny, Herb Brooks, Patrick was Herb Brooks' assistant in the
and I think,
Olympic
well, they
time.
were good friends.
Yes.
I don't know if they still are or not. Play goes in behind the New York Islander goal. Heading back after it is Leader. Now 40 seconds left in Williams' penalty as the play is broken off by Duguay. Leader has to chase it back into the New York end. Now here is Leader, leading it ahead to Potvin. Up the line now is Sutter. Sutter carried over the line. Brent Sutter goes to the corner with it, knocked away from him by Barrett. And the puck driven back out center ice by Potvin, who is trying to lay it out to the point. Here's Duane Sutter turning with it again. Duane Sutter and Brent Sutter and Tonelli. Puck slides back into the Detroit zone. John Barrett goes into the corner, takes a bump there from Brent Sutter. Still fed it up the left side. Potvin held it in. Duane Sutter into the corner now to Tonelli. Penalty is over. Williams is back on. Brent Sutter fires it wide. And Williams just back on the ice. Bounced it back out center ice. Picked off there by John Ogrodnik over the line with a shot off to the side of the New York goal. And Leader just clears it center ice. Kelly Kissio on for the first time. Back over the line with a shot that Potvin deflects up into the crowd. And still no score as we pause for this minute. Back here at the Nassau Coliseum, we have played 4 minutes and 45 seconds of the first period with no score. Kelly Kissio now with Bolderev on one wing and Lambert on the other. Play comes back out center ice. Kissio tipped it back to the line, but it's knocked down there, and Hallen clears it back into the Detroit end. Greg Smith feeds it into the corner. Hallen goes in after it. His pass too far away from Nystrom, and now it'll be Kissio. Kelly Kissio. Nystrom stopped him. Puck went loose. Here's Nystrom over-skating it, though, and that's Bolderev heading back. Ivan Bolderev at center ice with Kissio. Bolderev over the line. The puck tipped away, and the play went into the New York end offside.
And I would think Ivan Bolderev would be an ideal center iceman for Wingman to come late, meaning let him carry the puck. He is such a beautiful stick handler, the way he can move the puck and pass the puck. If a Wingman would just come from a little behind him and break into the hole, because Ivan Bolderev can usually stick handle his way over the blue line and get by several people.
Now the Red Wings come out with their newest line with Loisel at center ice, and over on the left side, Gallant and Gare on the right wing. These two, Loisel and Gallant, were 1-2 in scoring for Adirondack, the American Hockey League. Loisel leading the parade. Puck driven back into the Detroit zone, and John Barrett drives it up the right side for Danny Gare, still deep in the Detroit zone. Gare's pass knocked down. Colin Campbell gets into it. They jam in along the boards. It's dug away, though. Moving with it is Ron Handy of New York, and Colin Campbell covered up on him. Here's Gallant starting back. Gallant over the line, dumps the puck off Langevin when chasing after it. It goes into the corner. Colin Campbell held it in at the blue line. Now it's chased down by Loisel. Claude Loisel left it over along the boards. It comes loose for Gallant with a little shot. Knocked away. I say little. He didn't get much on it. Knocked away by Smith. Langevin off to the side of his own goal. Just shot it into traffic. Loisel has it tied up with Boudelier over there. And they'll hold it for a face-off. Still no whistle. Maybe no face-off. It didn't come about. Here's Loisel coming out with it. Put it right out in front. And Gallant was there, and his shot deflected off the top of the goal. Puck came to the line. Danny Gare tries to hold it in along with Colin Campbell. And now there is a whistle and a face-off inside the New York blue line.
Well, let me tell you, Loisel did a terrific job in the corner. Just kept digging away for the puck, and then finally come up with it, moved it right back out, made the pass across the front of the net to Gallant. And Gallant come awful close to score, and this was just all spade work by Loisel in the corner. Put the play right out in front. Gallant got the stick on it. Didn't get it into the opening. Smith did make the save on it. And I think Claude is going to have to be a little concerned tonight. He come in to the club, or joined the club, with a little bit of a shoulder injury. slight separation, and no doubt has to be a little hesitant about going to the corners.
Yzerman now with O'Grodnik and Duguay. The play in the Islanders zone, but New York's Potvin brings it out center ice. Potvin driving it back into the Detroit zone. Lattiser takes it in behind his own goal, into the corner with it. It's Trottier running into him there, and Flatley trying to get it loose. Flatley did. Yzerman holds him to the boards. Yzerman turned him around. They still battle for it. Puck bouncing around, knocked down by Trottier. The centering pass broken up by Lattiser. Slides into the corner. Flatley went in after it. Hands it now to Gilbert. Here's Greg Gilbert putting it out in front, and Duguay breaks it up and bangs it off the board. Sliding back into the New York zone, and Potvin comes back after it. We've played 7 minutes of the first period with no score. Nassau Coliseum, the Wings and the Islanders. Coming out of his own zone now, here is Sutter. Duane Sutter fired it off to the side of the Detroit goal. Reed Larson goes in behind his own net. Now Larson up the left side, pulled away from Brent Sutter. Larson from the blue line took a shot that deflected into the corner. Duguay bumped his man in along the boards. That was Vern Smith. And the Wings send it to the blue line. Greg Smith couldn't hold it in. Down the ice, Duane Sutter over the line. Tonelli breaking right in, and the pass behind him went off his skate. He sent it, but coming back, O'Grodnik broke it up. Ahead to Duguay. Ron Duguay comes out. Here is Duguay over the line. O'Grodnik heads back to the bench, and Duguay was stopped before he could get through. Gordy Lane heads back now for the Islanders. Playing it ahead to Tonelli. Tonelli carries into the Detroit zone. Played it in behind the Red Wing goal, and coming out of the net, Mikula played it along the boards, and Chernik on for the first time heads out. Chernik ahead to Tiger Williams trying to go through. Here's Chernik, and his shot deflected away by Sutter. Islanders take it off the boards and just drive it out to center ice. Now here's Chernik with it. Chernik had it tipped away, and Williams has to chase it back into the Detroit zone. Feeds it ahead for Sittler. Now Sittler flipped it into the corner, deep in the Islanders' end, going in after Langevin. Boudelaire, wearing number 4 for the Islanders, clears it ahead to Nystrom. Nystrom returned it, and Boudelaire chases it back into his own zone. Now it'll be brought out to center ice. No, they didn't make it, so turning around, Greg Smith flipped a little shot, an easy save for Bill Smith. The Islanders head back to Scott Howson. Down the left side, Howson over the line. Howson goes in, took the shot, and they score! I thought Mikula had it on the short side.
Well, he had it, but I don't know if Howson's going to get credit for it or the player breaking right down the middle, Nystrom. It's a bad goal to give up. He just outskated Darryl Sittler around the outside, cut in, and took it on his backhand from an impossible angle. And it went in. It's Howson's goal. The first time up hockey player just called up today to fill in.
Puck actually bounced off Corrado. He looked to have the short side all covered. No, and it was touched by the player on the other side, Sid.
Well,
his first NHL goal.
Well, they're going to give it to Howson.
46, Scott Howson.
Boy, you can see the stick come in and make sure it stayed in there on the other side.
The time of the goal was 8.
Langevin draws the only assist on the goal at 8 minutes and 52 seconds as Howson gets the goal. 1-0 Islanders.
just their second shot on goal.
Now the Islanders' Potvin play broken up by Kissio over the line, and the puck rolled off his stick. Kelly Kissio trying to break in, had it roll off his stick. He battles leader for it and came back to Colin Campbell. The puck directed right out in front, and Smith made a huge save off of Boulderell. Now Campbell holds it in as the Wings have the pressure on. Here's Lane Lambert centering pass, broken up by Tonelli. Now two of the Islanders move out. Over the line, the puck moved into the Detroit zone and given a bang along the boards as Alan Kerr. Young line now for the Islanders. Out there they have Handy and Kerr. Here's Handy coming out center ice. He was turned around. Tonelli has it. Tonelli back in. Tonelli with a drive. Mikula clears it away. Kelly Kissio. Kissio center ice pass now to Boldarev. Boldarev plays it, and now there's a fight going on over on the far side between Colin Campbell and young Alan Kerr, who just came up, and the two of them right in front of the Detroit bench are going at it. Kerr and Colin Campbell, the two of them go down on the ice. Kerr getting that right hand loose as they went to the ice, and the two linesmen get into it in a hurry.
And I don't know what started that. It was way behind the play, but...
Play was up by the Islander goal, and the fight was back on the inside the Detroit blue line. So the two of them will go in. We'll be back. The score is 1-0. The Red Wings trail the Islanders. Let's pause for this. Campbell and Kerr off together, 5 apiece for fighting, offsetting penalties.
Well, Islanders breaking out on top with a goal from just about an impossible angle, and then the Wings go right back down and get a great scoring opportunity, and Smith beats them.
Back to the action here. We're live from the Nassau Coliseum in New York. The Wings knocked it away. Danny Gare held it back of the net. Here's a centering pass right on the goal mouth by Gallant. And Billy Smith just fell to the ice and barely held that out. And I'll tell you, Gallant has been right around that goal.
Well, he did the smart thing. He just faked the pass and then moved around himself and moved right back out in front. Smith tried to check him with a stick. Then he put it across, trying to hit Loisel on the far side of the net. It hit a skate, would have gone in the net had Smith not jumped back and smothered it right on the goal line.
This line of Gallant and Loisel and
an excellent choice
Danny
to put
Gare.
a wingman with him, Danny Gare, because Danny Gare is a hard-working, very dedicated hockey player.
they've had 2 great chances. Now the play in behind the New York goal, taken off the boards by Langevin. He tipped it to the line. Larson held it in there. Here's Reed Larson out to Gare with a quick shot, and Smith got in front of that. Oh, and Langevin just missed the head of the referee Myers, driving it off the glass, then gave him a little wave as if to say sorry about that.
Yes, that would have been all for referee Bob Myers, because that puck was shot.
And I think, I hate to say it, that they have cracked a piece of the glass down there, or at least knocked it loose. Kids are #1 with the Detroit Red Wings, and on February the 14th, when the Wings take on the Minnesota North Stars, all kids 14 and under are only $5. It's a great savings. Tickets are on sale at the box office and all the Ticket World outlets. So all we need is another
episode
of the glass in Philadelphia.
That we had in Philadelphia. I just want to talk about the 2 youngsters, Claude Loisel, 21 years old, as is Gerard Gallant, 2 youngsters coming up to the hockey club.
Here the game is 1-0. The Islanders lead the Red Wings while they work on the glass. We pause for this message. And one of them came out with a measuring device.
I thought now if they have to go back and start cutting glass.
Well, we're going to ship in the crew from Philadelphia.
Right. We'd be here for a week. I mentioned the 2 players. They're both 21 years old, Claude Loisel and Gerard Gallant, both having fine seasons down in the Adirondack in the American League.
So it is Loisel wearing number 15, Gallant number 17. Larson, a quick shot from the face-off, and that just actually hit Smith right in the midsection, and he holds on to it.
Well, there's a case where Loisel wins the face-off cleanly, gets it right back to Larson. The puck is not laying down just proper here tonight. The ice appears though it's cut up a little bit.
Board shows the Red Wings with 6 shots and the Islanders with 3, but New York leads the game 3-1.
What?
I'm sorry, 1-0. 3-1 is 6-3. The bouncing puck right to Smith. He knocks that down. Langevin goes in behind his own goal. I don't know where I got 3-1. Puck cleared up the right side, too far out in front of Nystrom, and now here is Loisel with it, drops it back for Larson. Reed Larson scoops it back into the New York zone. In behind his own goal, Smith played it up the left side. Allen didn't get it out. Larson held it in, put it right to the side of the net. That didn't miss by much. Nystrom will pick it up. Nystrom feeds it ahead off the skate of Hallen. It comes center ice, and Danny Gare just shoots it right back in. And this line has held the play inside that New York zone most of the time. Puck taken away by Gallant. They cover up. The Islanders clear it to the line and come out with it. Down the ice now is Hallen over the line into the Detroit zone with Housen. Play goes to the corner. Gallant went in after it. Scoops it ahead for Yzerman. Yzerman gives it now to Larson. Here's Larson coming over the line. Larson with Potvin ahead of him. Pulls up, looks around, took the shot, and Smith clears it away. Grodnik takes it off the boards. He took the shot on the angle, deflected in behind the net. Puck into the corner once more. Grodnik hands it off to Duguay. Duguay lays it in the opposite corner for Yzerman. Steve Yzerman hands it back to Duguay. His centering pass didn't get through. Housen dropped back, broke it up, and scoops it back to the Detroit blue line. Brad Park ahead now to Grodnik, back to the Detroit line for Greg Smith. 1-0, Islanders lead it. Here is Park heading out. Park ahead now to Smith, over the line. Greg Smith took the shot wide of the goal. Flatley takes it off the board. Sends it ahead for Trottier. Up the left side is Gilbert over the line. Gilbert tied up there by Brad Park. The puck loose, and Duguay has it. Duguay fed it just too far out in front of O'Grodnik and Gord Lane. He cleared it ahead now. Trottier over the line to Gilbert. The right side to Flatley with a shot. Micallef made the save, and here's Greg Smith taking the puck out in front of his own goal and feeding it ahead as Duguay has O'Grodnik with him. Duguay drops it for O'Grodnik. O'Grodnik looking for somebody. O'Grodnik finally turned around, hit Yzerman on the skate with it, and Gilbert of the Islanders heads back. He scoops it into the Detroit zone as the teams go for a player change, and now it'll be Larson. Ahead to Lattiser. Randy Lattiser, center ice with Bolderev. Ivan Bolderev fires it into the corner. Smith came out of the goal. They jam it in back of the net. Trying to get it loose is Kelly Kissio. They hold it in along the boards. And the whistle stops it in a face-off to the right of Smith. And a pause in the action. 1-0. Islanders lead it. We'll be back in a moment. The Red Wings trailing the Islanders 1-0. We have 6 minutes, 43 seconds to play in the first period. Here's Lattiser with a shot that gets through. Smith grabs that off. Now Lane played it up the right side for New York. Wayne Sutter to Brent Sutter. Sutter's pass, though, picked off by Larson. A quick pass ahead, too far for Kissio. And Smith came off the net to play it away. And this time the Islanders fired all the way down the ice. They waved off the icing, so Lattiser lays it in behind his own goal. Randy Lattiser up the left side to Bolderev, ahead to Larson, coming out center ice. Larson had trouble with it, now picks it up and drives it into the New York zone. Tonelli overskated it. Bolderev lays it back on the line for Lattiser. He just lifts it off the glass into the corner, and it hit the referee. Now it comes up the left side, and Tonelli will shoot it out center ice. Wayne Sutter knocked away by Lattiser, following up Boudelet. Here's Boudelet over the line into the Detroit zone. Boudelet trying to cut in, goes into the corner with it. Larson bumps him there. Tonelli digs it away from the two of them. Tonelli took the shot, hit Sutter in the back. And the Wings, Kissio starts back for the Wings. Here's Kissio laying it ahead to Lambert over the line. Lane Bamber trying to get the shot away, and there'll be a penalty coming up to Langevin as he hauled down Lambert, and the youngster made a gallant effort to cut in on that New York goal. And with the Red Wing power play coming up, we'll be back. Let's pause for this. I thought it was Langevin. It was Sutter that drew the hooking penalty.
Well, a perfect little lead pass up through by Kissio to Lambert, and as he went to go in to get in behind the defense, Sutter reached out and put a big hook on him and gave him a pull to put him around sideways.
Sutter knocked him down, and it was Langevin who was on top of him. At any rate, Detroit now with their first power play opportunity of the hockey game. Puck goes knocked away by Gord Lane. It comes out center ice. Here's Gilbert, just one man back. That's Park. Gilbert over the line, trying to go around Park. Here's Gilbert, took the shot, and Micallef came up with a big save on a good effort by Gilbert. Right back down the ice, Yzerman. Up the left side, taken over the line by Bolderev. A bouncing puck here now. Handed off to Grodnik in his shot. He didn't get anything on it. Went to the side of the goal. Dug out of the corner by Bolderev. Duguay hands it back to him. Ivan Bolderev carries into the circle. Back on the line for Yzerman. The rim of the circle to Bolderev. Now Yzerman at the blue line again. Winds up for a drive, a bouncing puck wide. Grodnik put it out in front, but broken off there by Trottier. And cleared back into the Detroit zone with a minute left in the penalty to Brent Sutter. A hooking call at 14 minutes and 30 seconds of this first period. Now here is Yzerman. Yzerman clearing it off the skate of Gare. It came back to Detroit. Bolderev dropped back for Park, ahead to O'Grodnik over the line. He left it there for Yzerman, back to O'Grodnik, into the corner to Gare. Danny Gare to O'Grodnik, and again the shot just slipped off his stick. He didn't get much of it, and Bolderev has it. Ivan Bolderev winds up into the corner. It goes to O'Grodnik again. Back on the line to Yzerman with another drive, and that went just wide. Taken out of the corner once more by Bolderev. The Wings with good pressure on. Here is Bolderev off the rim of the circle. Bolderev holds it there. Bolderev looks, sends it back to Brad Park. Park gives it back to Bolderev. Right out in front, and the puck deflects to the corner. Yzerman goes in after it. His pass deflected away, and now here's Tonelli heading back. Off to Flatley, back to Tonelli, over the line with a shot, and Brad Park broke it up. Yzerman came back to cover up on Flatley, and now it'll be Danny Gare. The penalty is over. Gare comes out center ice. Over the line, trying to move in was DeLon. He was upended. On the check by Gord Lane, Reed Larson heads back for Detroit. Larson drives a shot from center ice. Here cutting in was Loisel. He got it into the corner, knocked away there. Potvin. Potvin clears it ahead. Howsam up the left side to Mats Hallen. Bounces it off to the side of the Detroit goal. Mikulev came out of the net. It's cleared to the line. Potvin held it in. Took the shot and deflected by Howsam. And he didn't miss much on his second goal. Right back down the ice, Danny Gare with a drive that Smith kicks into the corner. Here's Howsam holding it in. In the corner it goes to Loisel. Lane ties him up, and the face-off to the right of the New York net. And I have liked what I've seen so far of Loisel and the other rookie Gallant.
Very much so. Play their positions up and down and really work in the corners.
Here's our trivia quiz brought to you by Dunham Sports with 5 stores in Metro Detroit and 2 new locations in Drayton Plains and Grand Rapids. See their grand opening specials going on now. In what European country did Kelly Kissio star before he joined the Red Wings? Sweden, Switzerland, or Italy? That last shot that just flicked off to the side of the goal.
Smith had to make a toe save with it, right pretty well on the corner.
Now the play goes in behind the New York goal. The Wings have certainly applied the pressure, but the Islanders lead at 1-0. Here's Trottier back down the ice over the line. Ladouceur stopped him, and Larson. He was checked by Flatley. The puck goes in among skates and sticks in the corner deep in the Detroit zone. Ladouceur got it loose, swings it up the right side, taking a whack at it, Chernik. And it's finished off by Sittler, who got it out center ice, and then the Islanders' Boutelet just fired it up into the crowd. We have 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play here in the first period. The Wings have outshot the Islanders 9-5.
Out-of-town score. Montreal have opened up a 4-1 lead over Hartford.
Darryl Sittler has Chernik on the right wing and Tiger Williams over on the left side now with Reed Larson and Ladouceur back along the blue line. Howsam, he's shown some pretty good moves in this game and has scored the only goal. He's got Nystrom on the one wing and Mats Hallen on the other.
Howsam was called up today along with Ken Leader and Vern Smith from Springfield in the American League. And, of course, Mark Hamway, I believe probably he was playing in Springfield, too.
Well, remember that it's on WJR that J.P. McCarthy puts your morning together, 6:15 to 10 a.m. Radio 76, WJR is your power station for sports and everything else that is Detroit. Puck bouncing back into the Islanders' zone. Nystrom kicks it away, and Howsam heads out with Hallen. Howsam had to pull up. Hallen went in too quickly. Now they get back, and it's backhanded in behind the Detroit goal. Larson in behind his own net. Reed Larson, his pass ahead now. Williams drops it off for Sittler up the right side to Chernik over the line. Chernik dumped it in behind the New York goal, and Smith came out of the net, played it into the corner. Howsam went in after, got it ahead for Nystrom. Nystrom worked around Barrett's check, but coming back, Chernik hands it off to Colin Campbell. Campbell lifts it high in the air, and that'll go into the crowd over the glass behind the New York goal.
You know, Bruce, this is probably as well as the Wings have played in quite some time as far as defensive hockey. They are picking up their checks, going up and down with them, and it might be just the fact these 2 kids have joined them, and they have had probably the best scoring opportunities of any of the Wings.
Young guy that played, a young guy, the veteran, who played such a great first period last night, and then, like he said this morning in the dressing room to me, he says, why me?
Well, it's just a victim of circumstances. He went to clear a puck and it hit the heel of his goal stick and went in between his feet. When he moved his foot to try and kick it up, he put it in the net.
And just a little flip shot that he didn't even seem to be looking at.
Right. And the first one was a shot that was dropped right at the post and they put in. So,
okay,
one of those nights.
1-0 now. The Islanders lead. Puck comes back to the New York blue line. Potvin just bumped it back to the Detroit zone. Colin Campbell sends it back to the New York line. Leader has it there, gives it back to Potvin. Now Dennis Potvin ahead to Ken Leader, former Michigan Stater, hands it off to Flatley. Flatley carried into the Detroit zone, and the play went in offside, and the face-off out over the Red Wing blue line. 58 seconds remaining in the first period. The only goal scored by the youngster Howsam from Langevin at 8:52, and it was a puck that was shot from a very bad angle off to the side of the Detroit goal. Mikulev seemed to have it covered, and then it bounced in off of him.
Well, it's the type of a goal, Bruce, that should not be scored. After all, he was on an angle. The goaltender had the angle covered, and for some reason or other, Mikulev went down. If he'd have just stayed on his feet, the puck would never have gone in the net.
Now here's Colin Campbell trying to get it loose. He did. Sutter moved in to tie up Yzerman, but Colin Campbell breaks it up, heads out. A three-man rush for Detroit over the line. O'Grodnik. John O'Grodnik fired the shot on the angle, and Smith stayed with that. O'Grodnik got it loose and backhanded it right out in front. John Barrett was in there. The play is still deep in the New York zone. Flipped along the boards. Duguay tried to hold it in at the blue line, couldn't do it. Brent Sutter sent it back to the Detroit line. John Barrett knocked it away, and Mikula fired it along the boards. Duguay couldn't get it out. There's Langevin with a drive, and Duane Sutter deflected it over the top of the Detroit goal. 12 seconds to go in the period as O'Grodnik comes out. Carried as far as the Islanders' line. That's as far as it got. Greg Smith will play it back to Park. And this will lead up the rest of the time as it slides back into the New York zone. And the buzzer goes to end the first period here at the Nassau Coliseum. We have some special entertainment for you on television. You're going to be taking a look at the two youngsters of the Red Wings, Lane Lambert and Steve Yzerman. On radio, you'll be brought up to date on a busy day in sports. We'll be back with all of that. Here in the first period, the shots on goal show the Red Wings 9, the New York Islanders 5. But the goal by Howson at 8:52, and the New York Islanders lead the game 1-0. Let's pause for this. Back we are here at the Nassau Coliseum, where the Detroit Red Wings are trailing the New York Islanders by a score of 1-0 after the first period of play. And the two teams back out onto the ice now. We're just a short time away from getting the second period going. We've had a total of 4 penalties. There are 2 aside, and each team has had 1 power play opportunity. The only goal coming with the teams at full strength when Howson scored for the Islanders at 8:52 of the period. And I think it's interesting, Sid, to note that the Red Wings had 9 shots in that first period. Only 4 of them by forwards and 2 apiece for the same line. Gallant had 2 shots in goal, and Danny Gare had 2 shots. The other 5 are all taken by defensemen.
Well, that line was the most effective line that the Wings had on the ice. Gallant comes close to scoring on a couple occasions, and Loisel did a lot of spade work in the corner, come up with a puck, moved it out in front of the net. And Danny Gare will help 2 young hockey players like that. He is a leader, a born leader. He will talk to them and help them along the line. And I think that was a very wise choice, putting an experienced hockey player like Gare with them. Loisel is not really a rookie, though. You know, both these players were drafted in 1981. Loisel drafted 23rd overall. Gallant was the 4th round pick, 107th overall in the draft. This is truly his introduction to the National League tonight, Gerard Gallant. But Loisel has been up, scored 4 goals last year for the Wings in
I thought
25
played
games.
well.
Yes, and was sent down. And I understand Jimmy Devolander said that they had plans to bring him up earlier this year, too, but just because of injuries down below that they couldn't.
Okay, here we go. Second period underway as Gilbert carried into the Detroit zone. Yzerman chases down the loose puck and heads back for the Wings. Pass too far out in front of Ron Duguay, and Trottier clears it ahead. Came all the way back into the Islanders' end. Heading back after it now is Ken Leader, shooting it in behind his own net for the veteran Potvin up the left side. His pass too far out in front of Gilbert. They wave off the icing, though, and the Wings will have to go back and play it. Reed Larson. Now Larson heads out. His pass out at center ice, tipped away there. Larson has it again to Duguay, and Dugay's pass hit O'Grodnik on the skate. Flatley comes right back now for New York, tries to work around Larson, goes to the corner, centered it, and Lattiser was there to cover up on Gilbert. Now it's cleared center ice, bounces back to the New York line. Potvin sends it ahead. It came right back to Potvin. Now Pat Flatley stopped right at the blue line by Lattiser. The puck loose in the Detroit end, and Duguay heads back. Here is Ron Duguay for the Wings. That's center ice. Left it there for Yzerman. Steve Yzerman trying to turn away from Brent Sutter. The Wings are changing on the move, and Yzerman will be called for icing as Potvin chases it down, and a play comes all the way back into the Detroit end.
Well, I'm sure Yzerman didn't realize that he had turned around a couple times in center ice and then finally wound up shooting the puck from his own side of the center ice line into the Islander zone and was called for icing, bringing that face-off back into Detroit zone. Always a dangerous play when you have to face off back to the right of your own net.
I should explain, Sid, to our television audience, first time in a couple or 3 years that we have not appeared in our nice tan television coats. There's a shot by Langevin right from the corner. Somebody in Highland Park is wearing mine around right now, along with my car. Now the play goes back into the Detroit zone. The Wings trying to work it out. It's dumped out center ice by Gallant. Came back to the New York Islander blue line. Langevin turns with it there. Now Langevin scooped it along the boards on the right side, back into the Detroit end, but the play covered 2 lines is offside.
Well, you go ahead and lose your car with all your clothes and everything. That makes for changes in the appearance on TV.
It makes for a new wardrobe.
Right.
Al Arbour, what a job he's done here. He's been hurt injury-wise since the very beginning of this season, and the Islanders are in an unaccustomed position, really, down the line in 3rd place in their division. But you get the feeling that come playoff time,
they'll be tough.
Played back into the New York zone, digging in after it. John Barrett leading the rush, had the skates pulled out from under him when crashing into the boards. It's still in the zone. Here's Gallant, he scores! Brought it right on around the top of the net and just got it by Billy Smith, and this is the 3rd chance he's had to do this, and he made good on it. He's shown us a little something.
Let me tell you, this was a great play by a first-time National Hockey League player picking up a loose puck behind the net. The Islanders were all concerned about the fellas laying on the ice. Barrett and those fellas were down flat on their back. Gallant went behind the net, picked up the puck, and come back. I'm sure Billy Smith didn't even realize that he just tucked it in the short corner as he come around from behind the net. A loose puck behind, picked it up. Billy Smith was going to start to go to the right and then move back to the left, move back a little late.
What a heck of a play that Gallant made. He just came right around and just tucked it in the corner. Right around Billy Smith. And Langevin should have had a hooking penalty as he hauled Barrett down prior to that. So the Red Wings have tied the hockey game. The goal coming at 1 minute and 55 seconds. So a couple of first National Hockey League goals in this game on a 1-1 tie. Now Trottier shooting it deep into the Detroit zone. Bolderev tipped it away. Still deep in the Detroit end. They jam in along the boards. Now it's dug loose by Gord Lane. There's a shot. They score! And another first player, Kerr, got a hold of it, and it went just under the crossbar, leading Toronto Mikula.
Well, I guess there's always a place for youngsters. And this puck was dug out from along the boards and out to Kerr from the top of the circle, and that was I don't know, a shot that appeared as though it could have been handled. A high-rising shot went right over Mikula's catching glove.
Oh, I'm mistaken. I had him scoring his first goal. That's the 3rd, right?
Yes, he's been up before Kerr.
Up and down.
His 3rd of the season, scored by number 33, Alan Kerr.
He just came in. The
assist to number 24.
trips made today to strengthen this Islander team with their injuries.
Time of the goal, 2:25. That's Kerr.
So the goal came exactly 1/2 minute after the goal scored by Gallant. 2-1 now. The Islanders lead with a lot of time left. Lane and Trottier drawing assists on the goal by Kerr. Now the play goes back into the Detroit zone. It's loose in the corner. Pat Flatley went in after it, knocked away from him. Here is Steve Yzerman. Yzerman sends it ahead now to John O'Grodnik. Duguay up the right side. Puck driven off the boards, but it bounced to the side of the net instead of coming out, and Billy Smith is going to hold it there. And with a 2-1 lead for the Islanders, we pause for this message. Back we are here at Nassau Coliseum. The Red Wings tied the game on the goal by Gallant, and then just 30 seconds later, Kerr gets his 3rd goal on the season. Now here is a quick shot from the blue line fired by Larson, knocked down out in front, and the Islanders come back with Duane Sutter. Back over the line. Sutter let a shot go wide of the Detroit net. Larson takes it off the boards and fires it down the ice. This will be an icing call if Boudelier gets there first. O'Grodnik racing after it, but Boudelier just did touch it. And the play will come back into the Detroit zone.
What a nice way for a hockey player to break into the National League. The way Gerard Gallant and Loisel have come up. Out-of-town score, Montreal winning. Toronto and Quebec. Toronto nothing, Quebec nothing in the 2nd period. Toronto are putting their game together now. Have won 3 in a row.
Let's take 5 seconds right now as we pause for station identification.
TV 20, WXON, Detroit.
As we come back, Mats Helen drives a shot, knocked away by Mikula. Play goes in behind the Detroit goal. Campbell sent it up the right side. Danny Gare took a whack as he laid it to the blue line. The puck bouncing to the side of the Detroit net. Nystrom knocked down out in front of the goal by John Barrett, and Campbell sweeps it ahead for Sittler. Left side pass, Gallant over the line to Gare. There'll be a penalty coming up. A delayed call by the referee Myers, who thought it over for a minute, and Hallen doesn't like this, and I really can't blame him.
No, I can't either. Danny Gare trying to break in.
He'll be back with a Detroit power play in a moment. With a call on this, and I don't think I can blame him.
No, Danny Gare was falling before the hook even got out by Helene.
Okay, here we go. Here's an opportunity. Yzerman back on the line for Brad Park. Off the circle to O'Grodnik, but his pass didn't get through. And Brent Sutter will drive at the length of the ice. Sutter and Tonelli up front as penalty killers with Dennis, Potvin, and Gordon Lane. The wings have Yzerman and Park at the points. O'Grodnik, Duguay, and Bolderev, and it's Yzerman coming out. Yzerman plays it ahead to John O'Grodnik up the left side. Yzerman over the line. Pulls up at the blue line, laid it into the corner. Bolderev takes it in behind the New York goal. Sends it off the circle to Duguay, in the corner again to Bolderev. Here is Bolderev with it. Bolderev off the circle. Bolderev holding it there. Bolderev the side of the net, and Duguay turned around, tried to jam it in, and Billy Smith held his ground there and holds on to it.
You know, on a power play, Bruce, just watching the way the wings line up, we'd have nobody out in front of the net. If anybody does elect to shoot, there's nobody there to screen. The plays are all made along the perimeter or along the boards, and then Duguay just turned around and from a bad angle tried to stuff it in the corner. Was pretty hard to beat a goaltender like Smith from those angles. Nobody getting directly out in front of the net and doing a little spade work and making an Islander defenseman take him out.
Duguay in against Tonelli now. Bolderev sent it back to Yzerman at the blue line. Yzerman drove a shot. Duguay got in front that time, and the puck is knocked down. And Brent Sutter will clear at the length of the ice. 1:05 left in the penalty to Helene as Brad Park goes in behind his own goal. We're nearing the 5-minute mark of the second period. 2-1 Islanders. Wings have the extra man. 50 seconds now. Park up the right side. Bolderev tipped it along the boards, but didn't get it in, and it works all the way back into the Detroit zone, and Park has to hurry back after it. Trottier chasing him. Now O'Grodnik played it to an empty corner. Yzerman had moved away from it. The wings lose it in the Detroit zone. Here is Gilbert. Gilbert's pass, broken up by O'Grodnik. John O'Grodnik starts back. Over the line, O'Grodnik trying to move in. O'Grodnik pulled up, hands it back to Yzerman. His pass didn't get through, but Park held it in. Brad Park back at the line, trying to work away from Gilbert. Bolderev put it out in front, but Dugay's shot was blocked. Blocked by Gord Lane, and they clear it down the ice, and here's Gilbert going after it. Over the line, right into the Detroit goal. And Mikulev stayed right with him and made the save.
Oh, there's the biggest save of the night on a breakaway, clean-cut breakaway by Gilbert. Mikulev stayed right with him. Gilbert went to his backhand. You often wonder why players do this. He gave a little deke and then pulled off to his backhand, and you just don't shoot a puck as well off the backhand as you do off the forehand. But he put it right into Mikulev. He went down on his hands and knees and made the biggest save of the game. But Detroit, a little careless in the zone, finally giving them a chance for a one-on-one breakaway. But a good save by Mikulev.
And the only one was the goaltender, Mikulev.
Right.
Now just 5 seconds left in the penalty. The Wings will come out of their own zone with an opportunity for one more bit of pressure, and the penalty is over. Helene is back on, and Smith stopped the puck in behind the net, held in by Gare, who hit the side of the goal with a shot. They struggle in behind the goal. Loisel pushing away with Boudelier. The sticks came up a little high. Face-off will stay to the left side of Billy Smith.
Well, there's no doubt Loisel and Boudelier and some of these here new players that are on the Islanders, they'll know one another from playing against each other down in the American League this winter.
There were 3 other games scheduled for tonight. Now there are 2. Toronto is at Quebec and Montreal at Hartford. New York Rangers were to play under, back in the coaching helm, Craig Patrick tonight at Buffalo, but that game has been snowed out.
What a snow belt at Buffalo.
Oh, is it ever? Now Loisel struggles with the puck and ended up back of the New York goal. Langevin cleared it back out center ice, taken away by Trottier over the line. A drop pass. There's Helene, and he failed to get by. The check made by Gare, and right back down the ice, Loisel. Loisel hands it off to Gare over the line. Danny Gare, a centering pass, and Smith grabbed onto it right in the goal mouth as Randy Lattiser that time cut right in on the net.
Again, a real nice pass play coming up. Loisel laying it over to the side and to Gare. Gare going around the outside of the defense, and Lattiser breaking right in on the net.
Quebec at home has taken a 1-0 lead over Toronto Maple Leafs in the second period. Montreal well out in front in their hockey game, led it 6-2. They're playing tonight at Hartford.
Al Arbour not looking any the worse for wear, even though a lot of injuries. Nick Polano pacing behind the Detroit bench. And Nick's had a few injuries that he's had to worry about also.
Dwight Foster has made the trip. He's been skating with the team. He's not in uniform tonight. He's, matter of fact, in civvy clothes behind the Detroit bench. Now the Islanders bring it out center ice. Tonelli scoops it along the boards. It goes in or off to the side of the Detroit goal. Puck came out in front. Kissio's there to hand it back. Now it's Colin Campbell skates. Colin Campbell driving it deep in the corner in the New York zone. Potvin got there first, cleared it ahead. Sutter got it to the line. Kissio held it in. Tries the other corner. Cherny took a whack at it. Leader ran him in along the boards. It ends up in behind the New York goal. Here's Duane Sutter heading back. Sutter plays it ahead. Now it's cleared over the line. There's Tonelli with a shot. Campbell got a stick on that. Deflected it way up into the crowd behind the Detroit goal. With the score 2-1 for New York. We'll be back in a moment. Each team has had 4 shots in this second period. Each team has scored 1 goal, and it's 2-1 Islanders. Now the play is in the New York zone. Driven in behind the Detroit goal. Greg Smith goes in after it. Sends it up the left wing for John O'Grodnik. Here is Brad Park coming out center ice. Yzerman will chase it into the New York zone. He and Potvin go to the corner with it. Yzerman got it loose. It came out in front. Gilbert was turned around, but Trottier ever on that puck. Cleared it right side for Flatley. Back into the Detroit zone with a drive. And Mikulev got in front of that, knocked it away. Brad Park will turn it in behind his own goal. 12:25 to play. It's loose out in front, and Trottier almost was wide open, intercepting the pass from Park. Mikulev cleared it into the corner. Flatley goes in after it. It's loose now to Trottier. Trottier turned around, shot it in behind the Detroit net again. So Greg Smith tries the left side, and that goes too far for O'Grodnik. Back into the New York end, and back after it, Potvin. We've played 8 minutes of the second period. 2-1 for the Islanders as Potvin carries back into the Detroit zone. Smith knocked it away from him, but it stays in the Detroit end. Centering pass will be taken off the boards by Gare. Now Danny Gare lifts it ahead for Gallant. Over the line with Loisel. Here's Gallant, a centering pass, and Loisel was dumped, and there'll be a penalty coming up to Hrudey, and the fans don't care too much for this one either.
Well, this is a tough one to call, but he did interfere with Loisel trying to get in front of the net to take a pass from Gallant, and he was called.
So we'll be back with the Red Wings' second straight power play. Let's pause for this. I think that I agree with you on the interference call, but they call it tripping.
I don't see how he could call it tripping, because he just actually interfered with the player trying to get in to take a pass.
So the Red Wings now have, I said, their second, really including toward the end of the first period, their third straight power play chance. They scored with the teams at full strength. Play came back into the New York end, but Brent Sutter is there to drive it right back into the Detroit zone. Mikulev hands it off to Lattiser. Lattiser and Larson now are at the point, and up front, Gallant. He has Loisel and Danny Gare, so a different power play combination. Here is Lattiser scooping it into the New York zone. Langevin went after it. Lattiser chased him in deep, and Gare holds it in the corner. Puck bouncing around there in the corner. Came back to the line for Larson. Reed Larson chases it off the line, hands it back to Lattiser. Lattiser faked the shot. Cleared it into the corner for Gare. Back on the line to Lattiser. It bounced away from him. He held it in. Gare in along the boards, but it's knocked away from him. And here now is Tonelli bringing it back down the ice. Over the line into the Detroit end. Tonelli handed it off. It bounced over the stick of Brent Sutter, and Larson heads back. Reed Larson lays it up the left side now to Lattiser. The Wings changing on the move as Lattiser stopped right at the line. And here's Tonelli heading back. He's got Trottier with him, and the pass didn't get through. Broken off by Larson, and Trottier takes it. But the net has been turned around as a Red Wing player But banging into it, John O'Grodnik, who gets up limping a bit.
Well, he took the player right back on the original rush going down the ice, and of course John O'Grodnik started this game injured with a broken toe. That hurts, but John O'Grodnik picked up the loose man on the 2-on-1 break and went right into the net to try and stop, was tripped and fell into the net sideways and knocked it off its lodging. And in a way, maybe it was fortunate that it would happen, because Tonelli eventually came up with a puck, and as he went into the net, he, for the first time, looked up and found that it was sideways and had no place to put the puck.
Well, we've had a clean-cut breakaway on one shorthanded situation, and now Tonelli could well have scored on another, as the Red Wings try to get their power play going. The power play, what a contrast, really. The Red Wings are 18th in the power play department, 40 out of 205, a little less than 20%. There's a drive from the blue line by Potvin that was just wide. And the New York Islanders power play is 25, almost 26%. They're first in the National Hockey League. Now here is Yzerman heading back over the line. Handed it there, and it's knocked away and comes back out center ice. Back after it, Brad Park. Now Park, 15 seconds remaining in the power play, turning at his own line, gives it to Larson, tipped ahead for Yzerman. Yzerman carries in. Yzerman moved out in front with a drive, and Smith grabs that off and just drops it off to Langevin. He slipped it ahead, and now here's Tonelli trying to outrace Brad Park. Goes into the Detroit zone, but Park turned him around, and O'Grodnik's pass knocked down, and it went back into the Detroit end offside, and the penalty is over. The Islanders now back at full strength. Now you have to worry a little bit, because he's called two semi-questionable penalties against New York, Helene and then Boudelier, and now look out Detroit.
I would think so, yes.
10 plus 1 equals Red Wings fun. Hockey fans, buy 10 games and get one free. You can pick your favorite teams, your favorite games in this special tickets package, and also insure your seats for the playoffs. Available only at the Joe Louis Arena box office. Here's Helene trying to move in. Helene off to the side of the net. Mikulev came out of the goal. Knocked it off his stick, and Campbell heads back for Detroit. His pass tipped away right at the Islanders' blue line. Tiger Williams fires a long shot. Smith has no trouble with that. Drops it in behind the goal for Potvin. Now Helene will start back for the Islanders. They lead 2-1. Little more than 9 minutes to play in the second period. Puck fired in behind the Detroit goal. Mikulev hands it there to John Barrett. Up the left wing for Williams. Here is Tiger Williams. The pass off the skate of Colin Campbell. Potvin hands it back now to Helene. Helene driving it in behind the Detroit net. Mikulev will stop it there, and John Barrett takes it. Being chased by Nystrom, Barrett pulls away, picks it up himself off the boards, comes out center ice, and still manages to fire it all the way to the side of the New York net. Gord Lane went after it. His pass didn't come out. Cherny held it in. Cherny gives it to Williams with a drive, and Smith came up with a pretty save on the drive by Williams off a great setup by Cherny. And Billy Smith's been hot when he's had to be. And we have 8:23 to play here in the second period. 2-1 New York. We'll be back in a moment. Bruce Martin, Sid Abel, our producer Toby Cunningham here at New York's Nassau Coliseum as Bolderev fires a shot for the line, knocked down out in front. Lambert's pass, Bolderev all tied up by young Handy, and now the puck taken away and moving right back down the left side is Trottier. He fired it deep in the Detroit end. Mikulev's going to come out of the goal to play it away, and Lambert of Detroit will head back. Lane Lambert feeds it ahead to Bolderev. Back in. Here's Bolderev right out in front, and Kissio reaching for it, tipped it into the corner. Kelly Kissio goes in after it. Kissio, though, lost it, knocked away, and the Islanders head out. Trottier up the left side, but Brad Park will take it back in his own end. Brad Park moves back for the Wings now. Up the left side, Kissio chases it over the line. They'll call this icing as Gordy Lane goes back to pick it up on a play back into the Detroit zone.
Both clubs playing very defensive, picking their checks up and coming back the way hockey's supposed to be played. Goaltenders coming up with the saves, big saves when they've had to. Mikulev on a breakaway, and just a few moments ago, Smith coming up with a big save on a perfect setup by Chernick to Williams.
We mentioned, Sid, coming on the air, that the former two Michigan Staters, both out of Detroit, young Mark Hamway along with Ken Leader, were playing tonight, but they scratched Hamway just before the start of the game, in as much as Boudelier, who had been suffering from the flu, decided he could play, I guess. Now here we go. Randy Lattiser in behind his own goal. Puck will be picked off, and Sittler brings it out center ice. Darryl Sittler back over the line, drove a long shot, and Smith stays with that. A centering pass by Gallant that time just didn't get through. It ended up in behind the goal and knocked away. And here now Tonelli coming out with it. Tonelli takes it back from Duane Sutter, charges over the line. Lattiser rides him into the corner. They go in behind the net. A centering pass tipped away, though. And Gallant feeds it back out center ice. It bounces back into the New York zone. And here's Loisel. Knocked his man down. And he's passed right out in front. And Danny Gare had the puck up in the air. And he just couldn't knock it down in time. But a pretty play by Loisel. He hands it off to Gallant with a drive. And that's stopped. A loose puck out in front. And Smith grabs that one and holds on. And don't you think this Loisel and Gallant and Danny Gare have put a show on?
They have really played well and have had scoring chances everywhere but in, and you can't ask youngsters to work harder. Loisel just avoiding a terrific check along the boards, picked up the puck, made a high pass across to Gare. Gare put it down, had the empty net, but couldn't reach the puck. Dug out from behind again, and then more work done, and finally right out in front of the net again.
That was Loisel making the play the second time to Gallant.
And everywhere but in, Billy Smith having to reach out, smother the puck.
Ended up on top of him right in the goal crease. They have the only Detroit goal. Gallant from Barrett and Gare at 1:55. It is 2-1 the Islanders. Now the play goes in behind the New York goal. Duguay, Ogrodnik, and Yzerman up front for the Wings. Trottier given a shove by Ogrodnik. He heads out. He's hauled down. A penalty coming up to John Ogrodnik. And you knew anything that happened was going to be called, and John did haul his man down.
Yes, they had to call that, and now we'll watch the Islander power play, the #1 power play in the league, but they have a different club out here tonight.
And with a score 2-1 for the Islanders, we'll be back to the New York power play in a moment. Back we are, and I think Corrado Mikkel, well, said just a moment ago, the penalty to John Ogrodnik.
Yes, he got the hook on
stick up on the elbow and hauled him down. Corrado Mikkelov, I think, may be having a little problem with the contacts down there. He was...
Yes,
he's to be working on them.
He's got the referee and the linesman and his teammates down there to see. Yes, it's something to do with his eye.
I'm sure it'll be the contact. Corrado wears glasses. We can talk a little bit about radio because WJR is the station in Detroit where you can hear up-to-the-minute news and sports, business and traffic information, plus great music in AM stereo. Afternoons with Joel Alexander.
He's put the helmet and mask back on, so he must be all right.
Face-off will take place just over the Islanders' blue line as the Red Wings will play short a man for the second time in the game.
Detroit are really out-shooting this hockey club. The shot board reads 21 for Detroit, 10 for the Islanders.
That makes Detroit 12-5 in this period. Each team, though, has scored just once. Now Leader drops it off for Dennis Potvin right at the line. Duguay knocked it off his stick, and so the Islanders will regroup and try again. Potvin out in front of his own net now, moves up center ice, up the right side to Pat Flatley. Played it off the side of the Detroit goal and ended up back of the net. John Barrett didn't get it out. Trottier held it in. Here's Gilbert. He's checked by Colin Campbell, and Campbell drives it off the glass. Potvin stopped it at the line. It's now driven center ice. Good play by Barrett. And back after it, Potvin. Cleared back to the Detroit zone. Here now Tiger Williams with it. Williams just left it on the blue line. There's the pass knocked away this time by Williams as he covered up for himself, and Potvin. Center ice now. Gives it off to the rookie Ken Leader. Off to the side of the Detroit goal. The puck went high in the air. Bounces in the corner to Flatley. Now Pat Flatley has it. Flatley. He's stopped there by Colin Campbell, but it's Trottier with it now. Duguay knocked it away from him, and it comes center ice. I think the power play is a little different without Mike Bossy.
I would think so.
Puck knocked down right at the Detroit line. Then Trottier turns around, feeds it in, and Tiger Williams is there to clear it back into the New York end. 35 seconds remaining in the penalty to John Ogrodnik. The Islanders head out again with Dennis Potvin. Potvin up the left side to Tonelli. Tonelli drops it off. Here's Sutter right out in front. And firing over the top of the goal was Potvin as he cut right in. Now Tonelli tried to send it back to the line. He's being checked by Williams. Lattiser took it to the boards. The other Sutter runs into him. Tonelli Lays it back to Potvin with another drive, and he scores.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if Bossy's playing or not because they set things up so nice. That puck was passed around a couple times, then a perfect shot in off the post. Right, moving in from the point, a shot right just practically along the ice off the inside of the post.
And there again, you had Bossy charging right in front of that net.
Not Bossy.
Was it not Bossy?
No, he's not playing. I hope it was.
Did I say by? I meant...
Trottier. No, it was number 12 that was...
You know,
Sutter.
I just
Sutter
lost my memory for a second. Duane Sutter.
Dennis Potvin.
Dennis Potvin draws the goal.
And number 4.
And it's 3-1 now on the power play goal. Here now is Kissio back for Detroit. Over the line. Kissio went around one man. Fired a backhander wide. Helene took it off from the boards. And here now Nystrom. He's got Housen coming up with him. Nystrom drives the shot. Micallef got a piece of that. And Park drove it in behind the goal. Going in after it, Kissio. Big opportunity again for the Islanders. Kissio's pass didn't come out. Greg Smith. His pass knocked away by Nystrom. So Park will go back after it, but Micallef played it away, and Housen will hold it in. Here's Housen centering it. Boldarev takes the loose puck. Ivan Boldarev center ice to Kissio. Back over the line into the zone. He played it in behind the net. Going in after it, Lambert pinned in along the boards by Gord Lane. They struggle there. Nystrom and Boldarev. Boldarev got it loose. Nystrom all over him. Boldarev put it right out in front. And the puck knocked away. Here's Kissio in the corner with it. Kissio centers it, went off a skate, back on the line to Greg Smith. Smith took a long bouncing shot, and Smith makes a save on that. Greg Smith to Billy Smith. And Housen took the puck and failed to work it out. Now Billy Smith has been shaken up. He's down in the goal crease. And we've got a battle going on between Helene and Lane Lambert. And the two of them go to the ice, and the linesman in between them. And Smith is still down, kneeling down in the goal crease, and the other two players flat on the ice off to the right of the net.
Now, there was a lot of action around that net. Smith, I don't know if he got hit by a stick or... Can't tell just where he is hurt, but Helene and
Lane Lambert
are
now being separated.
That was strictly a wrestling match. They were going to do a little fighting, and Helene threw Lambert down. It appears as though Smith is complaining of his right shoulder, or his left shoulder. The trainer out looking things over.
Tonelli and Baudelaire.
Yes, on the Potvin goal, Tonelli and Baudelaire. Smith watching the play behind, went across, and he just more or less fell on his own. I don't know.
Got his skate in the goalpost over on the left side and just went sprawling to the ice. Lambert and Helene will head into the penalty box, or rather into the dressing room now.
Number 20, that's Helene, 5 minutes each for fighting.
Well, it wasn't much of a fight. At 16:31, the two of them pick up 5-minute fighting penalties.
At 16:31.
Red Wings fans, don't miss the next home game. It'll be coming up next Tuesday at the Joe Louis Arena. The Wings take on the Washington Capitals. Face off 7:35. Tickets available at the box office and all the Ticket World outlets.
And I still can't figure out just how Smith injured himself. He's up ready to play. Appears perfect now.
So Billy Smith, the Red Wings have outshot the Islanders 22-12, but the Islanders lead it 3-1. Now trying to work in was Yzerman. He failed to do it. Trottier starts back. 3:20 to play. Second period. Trottier over the line. He stopped right there, flipped the puck into the corner, and Yzerman goes in after it, and Campbell really upended his forward. That was Gilbert. Back down the ice is O'Grodny.
Well, shot from the blue line through a screen. Smith is lucky on a lot of these shots that come in screened. He gets down on his hands and knees, and his defensemen usually block them or deflect them away from him.
Now the Islanders trying to move out of their own zone. Gilbert clears at center ice. Campbell knocks it away. Here over the line is Gilbert with Flatley. A drop pass for Flatley with a shot. Micallef made the save, and the puck to the side of the net. Flatley digs it out there. Yzerman ties him up along the boards. Flatley trying to pull away. Moving in, Campbell helped out, and now Duguay brings it out with O'Grodnik at center ice. John O'Grodnik over the line, and that's broken off by Boudelier. He played it over 2 lines, and it's offside.
There's a free Detroit Red Wing hockey clinic at Joe Louis Arena on Sunday, February the 10th at 1 p.m. Learn hockey fundamentals from your favorite Red Wing players. Meet Coach Nick Polano and much, much more. Get your free tickets from participating 7-Eleven stores and join the action.
I appreciate that. But the fact that you gave me this cold, it's only right.
And I think you've partially given it back to me because I'm coughing today again.
Now here is Dennis Potvin. Puck held in, though, by Danny Gare. Went in behind the New York goal, and the Islanders go in after it. Ken Leader plays it ahead. Puck didn't come out. Leader goes back after it. In behind his own goal now for Potvin. The head on the right side to Sutter. Brent Sutter driving it into the Detroit zone. Gare goes digging back after it. Loisel, Gallant, and Gare. They've been far and away the most exciting line of the Wings. Puck came right out in front of the Detroit net. Loisel had to go high in the air. Goes into the corner after it. Up the right side now to Reed Larson. Back to Loisel. Gallant on the left side is over the line. Here's Gallant. Gallant picked it off to the side of the net. Put it right out in front. Ladouceur trying to hold it in. He had trouble with Sutter. Then he knocked it away the second time. It goes in behind the New York net, and Potvin is in after it. Now it's Sutter coming back down the left side over the line. Here's Tonelli, and Larson hold him down. A penalty coming up now to Reed Larson as the play continues on the delayed call. Tonelli plays it back to Langevin. Langevin with a drive, and Mikulev got a piece of that. And the puck now is grabbed off by Mikulev, and as he plays it, the penalty is called. Red Wing fans, don't miss the next home game Tuesday. The Wings and the Washington Capitals at the Joe Louis Arena, as we told you just a moment ago.
Number 28, Reed Larson, 2 minutes holding.
We'll be with you at Madison Square Garden Thursday night. The Wings and the New York Rangers, 8 o'clock, our broadcast and telecast time of that one. So that indeed will be the debut of Craig Patrick back at the helm of the New York Rangers. And as much as the game between Buffalo and the Rangers was canceled tonight or postponed at Buffalo.
Reed Larson but to the penalty box for a holding. A minute and 10 seconds to go here in the second period. A very important minute and 10 seconds. Detroit, they have to get over this penalty.
Well, it's one of those things, Sid, where the Red Wings have just outshot the New York Islanders. 22 and 14. That gives the Red Wings a total of 13 shots in this period. The Islanders have had 9.
And the Islanders have scored 2 goals.
So Larson's penalty for holding at 18 minutes and 50 seconds. And the Islanders, who scored the last time out on their power play opportunity, have another chance. 1 minute 10 remaining in the second period. Face off to the right of the Detroit goal. John Barrett laid it back toward the line, but it'll be held in. Leader sent it there. There's Boudelier with a shot, and Mikulev goes low and makes a fine save on that one. And the play stays still in the Detroit zone to the right of the Red Wing goal, and Flatley having words with John Barrett.
Now, I would think you can see the difference between the 2 power plays right here. The face-off comes right back out to Boudelier, and he's inside the blue line, right dead center ice, the center of the rink. He just moves in and waits till his 2 players get in front to screen, and then he fires away. They take chances on deflections. They run Tonelli and Sutter and directly out in front of the net.
Gilbert, Trottier, and Flatley up front now for the Islanders. Boudelier and Potvin back, and here's Potvin at the left point. A minute to go in the period. Boudelier has it. Boudelier drives it off the circle to Gilbert. Now Greg Gilbert playing it there, still in the circle, played it back on the line, and there's Dennis Potvin with a drive, deflected off to the side of the Detroit goal. They dig in back of the net. Colin Campbell got it loose, but it'll be held in. Trottier with it. Trottier sends it back to Boudelier. He flipped it high off the glass. Gilbert in behind the Detroit goal. Greg Gilbert of the Islanders laid it into the corner, and Duguay goes in after it. They rule the play was knocked down with a high stick, and they'll bring the face-off all the way back into the Islanders' end, with 32 seconds still to be played here in this second period, and a 3-1 lead for New York.
The Islanders, Duguay going out to try and block a shot of Potvin's, and the puck partially deflected. Off the glove of Micallef and then just over the open corner, very close to going on the net.
Our television situation in the second intermission will be a talk again with Bruce Hood, as you are the ref. We look into the rules of the National Hockey League. Radio, you'll be brought up to minutes on the news of the day. We'll have Sid's Corner on television. Now Boudelier, back of his own goal for the Islanders. Played it to Potvin, knocked away by Duguay. Then Potvin has it again, 20 seconds in the period. Played in behind the Detroit goal. Trottier, a bouncing puck in the corner, sends it back of the net. Flatley laid it back on the line. Now it's fired to the blue line by Boudelier, knocked down out in front by Barrett. 5 seconds remaining. Gilbert went down on top of the puck. The Wings clear it down the ice. That'll lead up the rest of the time as the buzzer goes to end the second period of play. And the Red Wings really not getting any breaks in that second period as they outshot the New York Islanders 13-7. I'm sorry, 13-11. But nevertheless, the Islanders with 2 goals, Kerr and Potvin, after Gallant had scored for Detroit. And we skate off with the New York Islanders leading the Detroit Red Wings 3-1. That's the situation. We shall be back with more. Let's pause for this. Power play, the 2 Sutters, Duane and Brent. Duane number 12 and Brent 21. And Tonelli up front as John Potvin carries center ice. Drives it along the boards in behind the Detroit net. It goes into the corner. Here's Tonelli. Back on the line. It comes to Boudelier. And Colin Campbell went all the way out to the blue line to deflect that shot up into the crowd. 36 seconds remaining in the penalty to Larson. We're in the early moments of the third period. 3-1 New York Islanders. The Red Wings and the New York Rangers Thursday night from Madison Square Garden in New York. 8 o'clock, radio and TV. Ron Duguay in against Brent Sutter. The puck rolls into the corner, and Colin Campbell goes in after it and drives it along the boards all the way back into the New York end. Dennis Potvin will circle in behind his own goal. Now Potvin just played it up the left side, too far out in front of Tonelli. Came right back to Potvin. Here's Potvin, sends it over the line. Brent Sutter tried to get through, but way offside was brother Duane. So the play comes back out over the Detroit blue line with now 14 seconds remaining in Larson's penalty.
You know, it just seems that every night we play, there's a Sutter in the lineup. We played Philadelphia, and there were a couple of Sutters. The twins, the youngest of the family. We
Ron
played St. Louis last night, Sutter playing, and here we have 2 of them playing again tonight, 6 of them in the league. The most of any one family playing in the National Hockey League by quite a margin. I guess 3 would be the next.
Now Duguay wins the draw cleanly, and Barrett sweeps it down the ice again. That should eat up most of the time remaining, and Larson's penalty as Potvin circles in behind his own goal. Now it's Potvin coming out center ice. Larson steps back on. Play goes deep into the Detroit end. Duane Sutter in behind the goal. They bounce along the boards there. It's kicked in behind the net to Tonelli. John Tonelli still in behind the Detroit goal. Takes it into the corner. Here's Tonelli handing it back now. It came back to the line for Potvin. Potvin off the side of the net. The whistle is blown. The play whistled down. The referee has seen something he doesn't like to the side of the Detroit goal. It came off its magnet, I guess, about an inch there or something. He stopped the play. So the face-off will stay, I would think, in the Detroit end. We've played 1 minute and 8 seconds of the third period.
That was a good call right there by the referee. The net had come off its moorings maybe by an inch or an inch and a half. A lot of referees could have just stood over and let that go, and if they scored a goal, then you'd have a big argument. This way he stopped the play, corrected the net.
They send Sittler on now to take the face-off in place of Loisel with Gare and Gallant. Puck came right back to the line, held in by Smith. He's on for one of the few times. Vern Smith, another of the rookies, back along the defense, plays it ahead to Howsam. Howsam carries over the line. Howsam into the corner. Now to Handy, a centering pass, and Nystrom just couldn't get to it. Checked by Greg Smith. Puck comes out center ice, and here's Brad Park leading the rush up the right side to Gare. Danny Gare slid it off to the side of the net. Here's Gallant holding it in. He centered it, knocked away though, and the Islanders will bring it right back. Handy feeds it ahead. Howsam with Nystrom on the right wing. Howsam trying to work away. His pass deflected off by Greg Smith, and the Wings head back. Here is Greg Smith at center ice. Gare digging up the right side. A drop pass for Gare. Danny Gare tried to go through. That's broken off. Vern Smith sent it along the boards, and the Islanders bang it back into the Detroit end, heading back after Gallant. Wings change on the move as Gallant goes in behind the Detroit net. The Wings are down by 2. Played a little more than 2 minutes of the third period. Over the line, Steve Yzerman. Yzerman took the shot, knocked down out in front of the Islander net. Langevin cleared it in behind his own goal. Boudelier played it up the left side, and it's flipped out center ice by Gilbert as Ladouceur comes back after it. Randy Ladouceur drops it off for Reed Larson. Larson being chased by Trottier. Plays at center ice now to Duguay. Duguay ahead to Yzerman over the line. Yzerman going right in. He scores! And the Red Wings now are 3-2 as Steve Yzerman made no mistakes, cutting right in on top of Billy Smith.
Boy, and he did make no mistake, is right. He went in. I thought he was going to make a pass over to Grodnik. It was a 2 on the goaltender, two-man break. Grodnik right with him. And he took a look at John and then decided to go right upstairs, right under the crossbar. Smith coming out and just throwing himself sideways, but a perfect pass to Yzerman right at the blue line behind the Islander defenseman. And the Wings are right back in this game at 3-2.
Billy Smith went flat out onto the ice, and I don't think he had an idea who was going to shoot the puck. So Grodnik and Yzerman both coming in on top of him.
Going by number 19, Steve Yzerman.
There's a drive just inside the blue line by Potvin, wide of the net. Duguay
Number 28,
and Larson draw the assists on the goal. Now here's Kelly Kissio back over the line. Kissio drops it off. Boulder have a centering pass. Took the shot. They score! And the Red Wings have tied the game. Lane Lambert cutting right in on top of the net.
Well, Lambert.
Just like that, it's 3-3.
That just shows when things start going for him. A play there where Kissio laid it across to Bolderev. Bolderev circled towards the corner and then just laid it back out in front of the net. And I'm sure Lane Lambert will get credit for it. He just stayed going across right in the goal crease practically. Bolderev's pass come across was partially deflected. Smith made a play on it but didn't get it. Lambert put it in, and the Wings are tied.
2 goals, just 21 seconds apart. Yzerman scoring his 21st at 2:37, and Lambert is 11th at 2:58. And just like that, the Wings have tied this hockey game with the 2 young fellas who were on our television intermission. Now look out, though. Here's Leader handing it off to Sutter. Wayne Sutter goes to the corner, trying to get it back to Brother Brent, couldn't do it. And the Wings come back. Gallant over the line. Gallant carries in, took the shot, and that went just wide. And he wristed that and had a lot on it. They play it into the corner. Loisel bumped his man there. Loisel worked it out in front, but Sutter will take it. Now here is Duane Sutter heading back, carrying out center ice. Duane Sutter back into the Detroit zone. Colin Campbell took him in along the boards. Puck knocked away. Campbell gloved it ahead. It'll be played by Yzerman and then whistled down, as Campbell had lost his stick and made the only play he could. So Yzerman's 21st from Duguay and Larson at 2:37. Then Lambert's 11th from Bolderev and Kissio at 2:58. And we'll be back with more. Let's pause for this. The Red Wings, 2 goals, 21 seconds apart, fight their way right back into this game. It's tied at 3-3. Langevin for New York. Played it in behind the Detroit net. Mikulev stops it there for John Barrett. Barrett pass knocked down by Langevin. He shot it in behind the Detroit goal again. Colin Campbell goes in after it. Campbell wrapped it off the boards. Duguay sweeps it center ice. Trottier comes back after it. Langevin giving it now to Boudelier, and Boudelier lifts the puck up into the crowd. You know, we talk about all the injuries to the New York Islanders, and by the same token, you look over the hockey club that's on the ice, and it's not all that weak either when you have the Trottiers and the Boudeliers and the Langevins and Flatleys and so forth.
Well, that's why those banners are flying up here in the rafters. 4 straight Stanley Cup teams.
Yes, 2 Sutters out there. 5 seconds we're going to take right now so our stations may identify themselves. 5 seconds for station identification.
This is TV 20, WXON Detroit.
Colin Campbell took a shot just inside the blue line that deflects way up into the crowd back of Billy Smith in the New York Islander net, so we'll go through it again. The Red Wings have 2 shots on goal in this period, and they're both goals. Yzerman and Lambert.
Shows how fast hockey games can change. 2 quick goals in a matter of 21 seconds, and the Wings are tied.
Puck skipped away from Trottier all the way down the ice. John Barrett and Trottier in a race after it, and I'll tell you, Barrett put on a world of speed and beat Trottier to it. And the icing call brings the play back into the New York end.
John Barrett playing hurt, too. Limping, got a shot in the back of his leg last night in the second period. John O'Grodnick skating well, and he was really limping over at the hotel all day and has no doubt wrapped up the toes some way because he has a broken toe.
Face-off stays to the left side of Smith in the Islander goal. We have 15 minutes, 22 seconds to play. Game tied at 3-3. Now the puck goes into the corner, and Leader will carry in behind his own net for the Islanders. Hands it off to Potvin. Here is Potvin out at center ice. Dennis Potvin feeds it ahead to Leader, and Leader backhands it in behind the Detroit goal. Mikula stops it there for Greg Smith. Now it is Greg Smith. Lifting the puck center ice, knocked down by Nystrom. He held it in. Nystrom handed it off to House, and he scores! Oh, the Wings gave it away in their own end, and Mikula fires the puck back. Very unhappy, and Houghton has 2 goals in his first game.
Well, you just don't make mistakes like this and expect to win hockey games. A complete giveaway. Greg Smith went to flip it out. It was knocked down by Nystrom. He went over and retrieved it and then made the play back across to Housen. Housen just shot it in the net.
So the Red Wings now, after tying this hockey game, are down by a goal. It is 4-3. As Housen gets his second goal in his first game.
Islanders goal, his second of the game and second of the season. Scored
now here is Brad Park coming out for Detroit. Park feeds it up the left side to Greg Smith. Smith will shoot it in behind the New York goal and back after it. The Red Wings Kissio. Kissio couldn't hold it in. Taken away, and here's Housen right back down the ice. Housen hands it off to Nystrom. He got it tangled up in his skates, and Smith starts back. Didn't get it out. Here's Nystrom with it. Nystrom by Park. Nystrom is knocked down. Falls over the Detroit goaltender, Corrado Mikula, and he was very close to having an empty net. And the Wings this time clear it to center ice. Nystrom with another great chance. Gets a great hand from the crowd. And Brad Park goes in behind his own goal. Plays it up the right side. Lambert sweeps it ahead. Loisel and Lambert now, and Boldarev. Boldarev drives it deep into the New York end. Langevin clears it along the boards. Here's Duane Sutter with it. Now Duane Sutter, center ice to brother Brent. Larson stops it at the Detroit line. Gallant couldn't get free. Tonelli has it. Tonelli checked by Gallant. Gallant turned around. Wheeled it in behind the New York net. We have 13 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Third period, Detroit down by a goal as Gare fires it right through the crease. Ladouceur held it in at the blue line, in behind the net. Loisel battles there with Boudelaire. The puck taken away, though, and Gord, or rather it's Langevin, sweeping it up the right side. 3 of the Islanders moving out. Brent Sutter over the line. It slid right to Mikula. He cleared it to Loisel, ahead to Gallant, with Gare coming up the right wing. Gallant drove a shot, and I'll tell you, Billy Smith had to really make a move to grab that just inside the goalpost. Now Flatley. He was hemmed in by Loisel, and the puck finally knocked back to the Detroit end, and Larson comes back after it. Again, a quick change by the Wings now as O'Grodnick and Duguay come out with Yzerman. Randy Ladouceur laid it back out center ice. Here's Potvin. Cleared it to the Detroit line. Ladouceur will take it there. 4-3 New York. Puck slides back into the New York zone, and now Trottier heads back, checked by Yzerman. Leader follows up. Leader cleared it up the left side. Trottier turns with it, put it on the stick of Yzerman. His pass knocked down by center ice. Reed Larson takes it, turns back to his own blue line, drops it back for Ladouceur. Now Ladouceur ahead to John O'Grodnick, center ice with Yzerman. Yzerman a rolling puck over the line, hands it off to Larson. Larson deep in the corner, put it right out in front, and Potvin is there to clear it away and leads a 3-man rush for the Islanders. Back into the Detroit zone, took the shot, and it dribbled off of Mikula just wide of the open side. Puck held in at the boards by Vern Smith. There's Flatley with a shot, and Mikula is going to grab that and hold on to it. So with a pause in the action, 4-3 New York. We'll be back in a moment.
What a worker, Nystrom, coming back his first game after missing 28 games during the season. Walked around Brad Park, but he cut so sharply that he couldn't remain on his feet and fell over Mikulev.
Well, Mikulev actually came out and got that big paddle on
knocked the puck away.
Knocked it away. Made the proper play on it. Here now is Ivan Boldarev going in behind his own goal, clearing it out center ice. It slides back into the New York end, and Gord Lane feeds it out. Here's Boldarev intercepting. Boldarev turns around, though, at center ice. All the way back on his own blue line. Ivan Boldarev up the left side. Barrett carries over the line and fell down. As he moved in, he's down on top of the puck. So the play will come out over the Islanders' blue line. 4-3, New York leads. The Red Wings. And well, we talked about shots on goal between periods, Sid, on television, and the Red Wings had 22 shots on goal in the first 2 periods, just 1 goal to show for it. They've had 2 here in the third and have scored on both of them. College hockey fans, don't miss the Central Collegiate Hockey Association Championship playoffs coming back to the Joe Louis Arena March the 8th and the 9th, and then the NCAA will be at the Joe Louis March 28th and 30th. Tickets available. Here's the play going into the Detroit zone. Mikulev came out of the net, tipped it away, and the Red Wings head right back with Boldarev. Ivan Boldarev back over the line to Kissio with a quick shot, and Smith reaches up, grabs that right along the crossbar, holds on, and the play will stay in the New York end on the left side of Billy Smith.
And Howsam come awful close to getting his 3rd goal. He worked his way through the middle, and just as he was getting ready to shoot, he was partially pulled off the puck, and Mikulev had to jump to let him slide underneath him. This kid coming into the league has already scored 2 goals in his first night up. Detroit going right back, and
Billy Kissio
getting a shot up on the net.
There's a drive by Larson that just went off target. Taken off the boards now by Sutter. He cleared it ahead to brother Brent. They wrestle at the blue line and at center ice. Danny Gare breaks it up. Gare ahead to Loisel. Claude Loisel bounces it off to the side of the goal. They go in behind the net. Gallant tied up one of the Sutters, but it'll be brought back out by Boudelier. Boudelier to Duane Sutter. Fired as it in behind the Detroit net. Danny Gare goes in along the boards with Tonelli. It came back to Langevin. Here's Tonelli right out in front. A scramble there, and Reed Larson is down on top of the puck right in the goal mouth area. And the play stays in the Detroit end.
Now there's the area where Trottier so used to passing to. Go ahead, you're going to take commercial.
That's what I'm going to do. 4-3 New York. We'll be back in a moment. Montreal Canadiens have defeated Hartford 8-5. Final score at Hartford. Here's Leader back at the blue line. Ken Leader's pass hit a skate. Gilbert held it in. Pat Flatley chases it into the corner, drives it to the other corner. Gilbert goes in with Yzerman. Puck loose along the boards. Trottier got a stick on it, kicks away at it, being tied up by Colin Campbell. That puck is still loose. Trying to get it away was Yzerman, and now he did the second time. He's knocked down. Came out in front, a backhand shot, and Mikulev made a big save on Flatley. Flatley got it, took another shot, knocked down out in front, and the puck is kicked back out center ice. And Otto Mikulev came up with a fine save on Flatley. Here's Yzerman getting the puck loose. Duguay drove it into the Islanders' end, and the New Yorkers shoot it back out. Colin Campbell couldn't hold it. Here's Potvin. He and Nystrom move back in. Potvin drove a shot wide of the Detroit goal. Colin Campbell scoops it back to the center ice area. 4-3, New York leads. Mats Helene shooting it in behind the Detroit net. Mikulev stopped it there, fired it up the right side, and Yzerman takes it off the boards, but he's pinned in along the boards right there by Smith. Colin Campbell covers up, skates it back into his own end, being chased by Howsam. And the Wings just shoot at center ice. It went over 2 lines. They'll whistle it down offside. So the play will come back inside the Detroit blue line.
Final score, Toronto have come back and tied Quebec. Toronto 2, Quebec 2, a final.
Now that game is at Quebec tonight, and after the Nordiques led it 2-0, this Toronto club has gone 4 games without a loss, 3 wins and a tie. Ivan Boldarev, Kissio, and Lambert up front for Detroit now with Lattiser and Larson. This game is 4-3 Islanders. Vern Smith tipping it along the boards. Howsam shoots it into the Detroit zone, and Mikulev out of the goal, leaves it behind his net for Reed Larson. Nearing the 11-minute mark of the third period. Here now is Ivan Boldarev, tipped out center ice. Smith will clear it right back into the Detroit zone, and Larson gives chase to it. Reed Larson into the corner, pulls away from Nystrom, up the right side to Lambert. Lane Lambert's pass knocked down by Howson, and he's been some kind of a player in this game for the Islanders. Reed Larson goes in behind his own net. He and Helene go to the ice back there. Larson had a grip on the head, and here's Kissio starting out. Kelly Kissio with Boldarev coming up the left side. Lattiser, they took it in. That's as far as it went, and Lattiser made the play as Nystrom tried to break loose. Ivan Boldarev back over the line. Here's Lambert with a drive, and Smith got a skate on that and kicked it away. Right back down the ice, Duane Sutter over the line with Brent Sutter. Duane Sutter took the shot. Mikulev grabs that. Puck played up the right side, and they whistled the play down.
A fairly quick whistle there. Mikulev making the save.
So the Wings trail by a goal with 8:14 to play, and we'll be back in just a moment. Bruce Martin, Sid Abel, our producer Toby Cunningham, the Nassau Coliseum. The Red Wings down by a goal. It is 4-3. The Islanders leading Detroit 2-1 in this period. The Red Wings scored twice to tie it. Now the play came to the blue line, and Langevin clears it in behind the Detroit goal. Brent Sutter chased it in the corner. It bounces back to Boudelier at the blue line. Colin Campbell breaks it up, and Campbell sweeps it ahead. Off the stick of Danny Gare, back to the Islander line, and here's Tonelli turning with it. Tonelli checks center ice by Campbell, pulls away into the Detroit zone. He was sent sprawling. Played to the side of the Detroit goal. There's a scramble there, and Tonelli digs it out of traffic. Here is John Tonelli, centered it, and it went right through Brent Sutter, who was there open. And Loisel went in, gave him a bump, and Sutter hauled Loisel to the ice. Back down the ice is Danny Gare. Flipped it deep into the New York end. The Islanders go back after it. Puck knocked away, this time by Loisel, who took a whack that time from Boudelier. They hold it in along the boards. And a face-off to the left of the New York end.
Well, you have to be impressed with the play of Loisel and Gallant, along with Danny Gare. That line has forechecked, and every time they've been on the ice have had chances, played their position very well, and actually I think have probably made the entire hockey club a little more conscious of being a little defensive at times, instead of just allowing the play to come in and everybody to take a pot shot at the net. The Detroit have been checking very well.
Islanders led 1-0 into the first period. Gallant scored early in the second to tie it. Then New York scored 2 straight goals in the second period, led it 3-1. Yzerman and Lambert back-to-back goals. A 3-3 tie, and Howson scored his second of the game. There's a drive by Larson from the line, knocked away by Billy Smith. The Wings are down just by that one goal. Duguay trying to get loose. Boudelier tied him up at the line. Duguay handed it off to Yzerman. Here's Yzerman going to the corner, pulls up. Yzerman along the rim of the circle. Steve Yzerman still batting, hold it right out in front with a shot. A scramble in front of the goal, and the puck ends up in the corner. Bounce back along the boards, and the Islanders shoot it back to the Detroit line. And Yzerman did everything in the world except get that puck into the net that time. Here's Gilbert back into the Detroit zone. Sent sprawling on a check by Lattiser. Now Lattiser feeds it up the right side to Reed Larson. Coming out center ice, Duguay. Ron Duguay shovels it ahead to Yzerman. Back over the line, Yzerman. Boudelier ahead of him. Yzerman pulls up, drops it back for Larson. Larson moves out in front with a shot. He scores, and the Red Wings have tied it.
What a play by Yzerman, and then just an outstanding play by Larson, where he dipsy-dooed his way in. And with the screen out in front of Smith, he didn't see Larson's shot at all. He walked right in, got on his forehand, and from about 20 feet, with both Duguay and a defenseman right out in front of Billy Smith, Larson found the net. Tie the hockey game. A little drop pass by Yzerman to Larson, and right through the screen, Duguay and Potvin directly out in front of Smith.
Yzerman made a great effort just moments earlier.
While he stick-handled his way right through the entire club, and then couldn't get anything on his shot.
And then he came through the second time as Reed Larson scores his 7th goal of the year. And Detroit now a 4-4 tie. Here is John Barrett coming out. Over the line, dips it into the New York zone. Gordy Lane in behind his own goal. Ron Duguay draws the other assist on the goal. Play loose at center ice. Ivan Boldarev has it. Now Boldarev back over the line, wrapped it in toward the corner. Lane goes in with Kissio chasing. And it's tipped back out to the center ice area. Nystrom spun around by John Barrett. Still got up, knocked the pass down. Colin Campbell comes back out quickly to play it back in, and then Nystrom rode Colin Campbell in along the boards. Played in behind the New York goal, and coming back with it now, Helene. That's Helene over the line into the Detroit zone, knocked away. Here's a break for the Red Wings now as Loisel moves out with Gallant. They're 2-on-2. Loisel over the line took the shot, and it went wide, and Smith came out of the goal and drives the puck all the way back into the Detroit end. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the third period. Game tied at 4-4. The Wings will be called for icing if Hrudey gets there first. He does. Just beats Gallant to it. Play back into the Detroit end. A 4-4 tie, Detroit and the Islanders, and we'll be back after this. Yzerman, Lambert, and Larson have scored here in the third period. Gallant in the early moments of the second, and the game tied at 4-4. Face off to the right of the Detroit goal now as Brent Sutter goes in against Daryl Sittler. Sittler wins the draw on Lattiser, circles in behind his own net. Hands it there to Reed Larson. Larson up the right wing to Duguay. Here is Ron Duguay, 2 assists in this period, driving it back into the Islanders' end. Yzerman held it in. Steve Yzerman's pass didn't get through. Boudelier knocked it away, and Yzerman takes him in along the boards. Holds him there, and the face-off will stay to the right side of the New York net. And I think, Sid, Steve Yzerman, again playing in between Duguay and Ogrodnik, has turned it around a little bit. He's playing the best game I've seen him play over the last few.
Right. You know, they took him away from the line back a few weeks ago to try and get the other line scoring, and it certainly hurt him because he hasn't been himself the last few weeks. Tonight, he has shown flashes of the way he was playing earlier in the season. But they've gone pretty well, the Red Wings, with 3 lines tonight. The Sittler, Williams, and Chernick have seen very, very little action. Only one time, I believe.
Face off to the right of the New York goal. They whistled it down as Yzerman moved in a little too quickly. Duguay is taking the face off against Trottier. Yzerman, Duguay, and Ogrodnik up front for Detroit. Puck ends up in the corner in the New York zone. Going in after it now. Leader played it out center ice, and Larson has it there. Right back to Yzerman. Yzerman, a good move away from Flatley. Back over the line. Tried to get the shot off. That was knocked down, and so was Yzerman. Now coming out, Leader. Clears it center ice. Trottier back into the Detroit zone. Trottier into the corner. Trottier is centering fast, and it ended up behind Flatley, and here's Yzerman coming back with Lattiser. Yzerman over the line. Yzerman hands it off. The pass missed Duguay, though. And Leader, Ken Leader, checked right at the line by Ogrodnik. Finally manages to bat it back to the Detroit blue line, and Larson will take it there. Exactly 4 minutes to play in the third period. A Red Wing pass covers 2 lines. It is offside, and we have 3:58 to play, and it should be an interesting 3:58. We'll be back with that. Let's pause for this. Face off just inside the Detroit blue line, won by Kissio, and John Barrett circles in behind his own goal. Up the right side to Colin Campbell, tips it ahead now. Here's Lambert. Lane Lambert at center ice, trying to pull away from Hallen. Played it off to the side and in behind the net. The New York zone, but the Islanders dig it away and head right back. Down the ice, Howsam. Howsam over the line, trying to go through, and Campbell just managed to tip it away from him. Howsam went to the ice. The crowd didn't like that. Here's Helene, back out to Howsam. And it was John Barrett that went down and deflected that shot up over the top of the goal.
And this kid's a pretty good-looking hockey player that's been down in the minor leagues. He tried to work his way through again and just about did it. This shot was deflected, but his second attempt at it. A couple real regular, loyal Red Wing fans here tonight. Gar and Gary Thompson flew in for this set of games, the game here tonight and the game in New York, and they want to say hi to the Forum Club back in Detroit and to all their friends. And Ken Barrett says hi to the family and friends in Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
We'll be with you Thursday night, 8 o'clock, radio and television, with a game from Madison Square Garden, New York. That'll be the debut of Craig Patrick in the behind the bench for New York, replacing the fired Herb Brooks. Now here is John Barrett coming out of his own zone for Detroit. Up the left side, over the line. Gallant with a drive. Didn't get a whole lot on it, and Smith got in front of it. Knocked it down and holds the rebound.
Oh, boy, he put a burst of speed on, and he was around the outside of the defense. I wish he would have taken a look. He probably could have laid it over to Danny Gare, who come really charging in on the right side. Nobody picked up Gare.
Line has not stayed on the ice any length of time. You think they're that tired?
Well, it could be. They were talking today about Loisel's shoulder and the fact that they have played, I think they said, 9 games in 11 days. It could be that as this game has gone on, they are fairly tired.
Remember, WJR, where you get comprehensive weather, news, and sports information mornings with J.P. McCarthy. And where Dennis Newbacher reports on traffic from the WJR helicopter mornings and afternoons. We have 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the third period. The game tied 4-4 here at Nassau Coliseum. 3 of the Islanders move out. Trottier over the line, drops it off for Gilbert, and coming back, the check made by Yzerman. Now the wings move out, and here's O'Grodnik on a breakaway with Duguay. Duguay back to O'Grodnik, he scores! And the wings lead at 5-4 as the Islanders had 4 men trapped out in front of the Detroit goal.
Well, the two Islander defensemen run into one another and fell, and this was a clear-cut blue line breakaway from the Detroit blue line. 2 on nobody. O'Grodnik made the play across to Duguay. That would get Smith thinking, and then Duguay made the play back to O'Grodnik, and he snapped it the moment he got it.
Detroit goal, his 32nd of the season, scored by number 25.
32 for John O'Grodnik, and Ron Duguay, and he just played a little tic-tac-toe down the ice.
What a nice time to get a breakaway. What a play Duguay made back to O'Grodnik. Those kind of passes have to be just letter perfect.
At 17.
And so now the Wings have fought back, and they lead it by a goal, 5-4. And we have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the third period. Here is Reed Larson up the left side to Boldarev. Ivan Boldarev comes out center ice, drives it deep into the Islanders' zone. Puck tipped away, and now it'll be brought back by Flatley. Here is Flatley into the Detroit end. Flatley turns around, play broken up, then Trottier gets it. Dribbled it off to the side of the Detroit goal. Sent it back, and Larson breaks it up, but it's held in by Boudelier. Trottier in the corner. Back out to Flatley with a drive, and Mikola made a big save on that one and jumps on the rebound.
Well, if the Red Wings ever played a defensive-type game of hockey, now is when they have to do it. 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Their first chance to win a hockey game in so long. Just a matter of picking somebody up. There's no reason in the world why any of them should be trapped now down on the Islander end of the ice.
Well, you talk about a breakaway when you have John O'Grodnik and Duguay moving in with nobody back. Billy Smith looking from one side to the other.
Well, both defensemen, when Larson threw the puck up to Duguay, or to O'Grodnik, both defensemen fell. So it was 2 players away from their own blue line with nobody to beat but the goaltender.
Now the play stays in the Detroit zone. Here's Tonelli. Tonelli goes to the corner, tied up there by Colin Campbell, and Danny Gare lifts the puck down the ice. They race after it. Gordy Lane will get there, and there'll be an icing call against the Wings with 1 minute and 48 seconds now.
Very important face-offs deep now at this stage of a hockey game, protecting a 1-goal lead. Darryl Sittler is out right now to take the face-off instead of Loisel. I would think that Sittler probably would take the face-off anyway, because Loisel mentioned today his shoulder was bothering him, that he wasn't taking face-offs in Adirondack because of that.
Reed Larson has a goal and 2 assists in this third period. Yzerman a goal and an assist. Ron Duguay 3 assists. And the Wings fighting from behind now lead at 5-4 with 1 minute 45 to play. And they didn't get it out of their own zone. Brent Sutter played it over in the board zone. Here's Gallant of Detroit. He's got Gare with him. The 2 of them over the line. Gallant trying to work around Lane. Carries in behind the goal. Hit the side of the net trying to center it. And Tonelli will come back as the Wings drop back defensively. Here now, John Tonelli shooting it in behind the Detroit goal. Mikola stops it there. Mikola fired it along the boards. Held in at the blue line and then knocked away by Loisel, and Gare brings it out. Gare lifted it, just missed the linesman. And it'll be Tonelli again for New York, clearing it back into the Detroit zone, and Loisel again lifts it back into the New York end. 1 minute 5 to go, third period. Detroit leads 5-4. Boudelier a long drive. Mikolas knocks it away, and Steve Yzerman hands it to O'Grodnik, who tips it back out center ice. Taken there by Potvin. Look for Billy Smith to leave the New York goal. He hasn't done it yet. Ladouceur cleared the puck. It hit the referee and stayed in. Into the corner now, Flatley, and Mikuloff knocked it away in front of the goal, and it bounces center ice. Smith has gone for the extra attacker. Now Potvin clears it ahead. Here's Brent Sutter bringing it back into the Detroit zone. Hands it off to Flatley. Puck at the line. Came back to Potvin. 30 seconds to go. Tonelli in behind the net. Gives it there to Howsam. His pass knocked away, and Mikuloff grabs it in the goal crease and holds on. And out in front of the net, two players go to the ice, and in behind the goal, Colin Campbell and Tonelli shoving at one another. That's Lattiser down on top of Flatley.
Talk about taking a player out. That has taken him out. He just wrestled him right down on his back. But Mikuloff made the smart move by catching the puck as it come from behind the net. Get a stoppage of play. There's 25 seconds to go, and the Wings just trying to break a 12-game streak without a win. 2 ties in the last 12 games.
Corrado Mikuloff just grabbed that puck right out of the air, right in the goal crease to stop the play. Yep, Detroit now have not won a game in 1985, have only that one tie with Philadelphia. In their last 12, they have lost 10 and tied the other 2. Their road record is 3 wins, 18 losses, and 2 ties. So, boy, how they want to hold on for the final 25 seconds of this one. Now the New York Islanders have called a timeout. So when play resumes, to set the stage for you, the face-off will be to the right side of the Detroit goal. The New York Islander net is empty, and there will be 6 attackers inside that blue line.
And they will run somebody right out in front of the net, so Mikuloff is going to have to be alert.
I would think that Al Arbour will have something to say to his team, because he had some veterans on there when 4 of them were trapped inside the zone with the score tied and time running out, and they were right out in front of the Detroit goal, and when the Wings broke 2 men out with nobody near them.
Well, he has some experience out there right now with Trottier, Denis, Potvin, Flatley, and not that much experience with Flatley, but a big, hard-nosed hockey player.
Gilbert's going to replace the only rookie out there, Howsam. So Howsam goes back to the New York bench. He scored 2 goals and played one heck of a solid hockey game. Face off to the right side of the Detroit goal. Darryl Sittler comes in against Trottier. There are 2 veterans. I'd like to have $1 for every face-off these two fellas have taken in the National Hockey League. Puck is dropped, stayed there in the circle. The Wings tried to get to it. They slide it over the line, and Duguay rolls it back into the New York end. Flatley comes back after it. 15 seconds left in the period. Here now up the left side, Trottier. Trottier fired it off to the side of the Detroit goal. Lattiser scooped it along the boards. The Wings hold it there with Boudelet and Ogrodnik. We have 4 seconds remaining, and a face-off stays still in the Detroit end. To the right of Corrado Mikuloff. The Wings lead it 5-4.
And another face-off, not quite on the spot, but at the top of the circle, just off to the right of Corrado Mikuloff. Duguay not worried about trying to score a goal in the empty net, just made sure that the puck cleared the zone. They don't need another goal. They just want to make sure that the Islanders don't put one in their net.
Well, Darryl Sittler's main job right now is to just cover up.
Win the face-off, or drop on the knees and smother the puck. Don't let them get a clear shot on net.
Now all 5 of the Red Wings lined up right out in front of Corrado Mikuloff. Face off really to the rim of the circle. Trottier in against Sittler again. And Duguay and Flatley do a little shoving, and they're having words. And now Duguay dropped the gloves and went after Flatley. Flatley had given him a little shot, and I'll tell you, Ron Duguay, I haven't seen this before. He is really mad. He is going after Flatley, and the 2 linesmen go in between them. Duguay was swinging punches with nobody near him.
Well, you know what started there? Flatley made a play on Dugay's skates before the puck was dropped to try to knock Duguay off balance. That was before the face-off. And that's a trick with hockey players. Anything at all to distract a player just as the puck is getting ready to be dropped. Well, he just knocked Dugay's skate, and Duguay took a little exception to it. Decided to drop the gloves. There was no punches thrown, but Duane was doing a little shadow boxing. He looked pretty good.
Flatley is a pretty good...
he's a pretty big boy. 6'2" or 6'3", although Duguay is big, too.
Flatley actually got the stick behind Duguay.
That's right. He hit it, pulled his skates.
Could have had a penalty. Maybe should have had a penalty. They each get roughing penalties.
Flatley and the Islanders.
So that means now that the
56.
Islanders are really upset. They brought the face-off out over the Detroit blue line.
Well, that's a good break for the Wings.
I can't tell you why, because I really don't know. The action occurred with a face-off to the right of Corrado Mikkola.
And the puck was never dropped.
The puck was never dropped.
But he is ruling that it's going to be outside, so...
I don't know why that is. The Islanders are really giving it to them. Gauthier, the linesman, taking an argument from the captain of the Islanders, Potvin. This is a big move. The face-off had been in the circle to the right side of the Detroit goal. Then the roughing penalties to Duguay and Flatley at 19:56. And they bring the face-off out over the Detroit blue line.
Well, Detroit should try and get lined up and get this thing going before you get this crowd all stirred up, throwing things on the ice.
Each team...
How come Detroit's short-handed?
They're both short-handed.
Oh, yes, the goaltender's pulled. I was wondering why the Islanders had the extra man up.
So 4 seconds remaining with a face-off out over the Detroit blue line now, and the Wings lead it 5-4. Darryl Sittler in against Trottier. Puck bounced around on the line. Look out, moving in. Sutter with a shot that goes wide, and this hockey game is over. And the Red Wings, trailing in the game, came back with 2 goals. Larson to tie it at 13:35, and John O'Grodnik to win it from Duguay and Larson at 17:07. And Detroit breaks a 12-game streak without a victory by picking up a big one here tonight against the New York Islanders. We'll be back to recap it all for you, but let's pause first for this message. Back we are at the Nassau Coliseum, where the Red Wings trail 1-0 into the first period. Gerard Gallant tied it with his first goal in the National Hockey League in his first game. 1-1, but then the Islanders added 2, Kerr and Potvin in a power play. That made it 3-1 for the Islanders. Yzerman scored early in the the third period, and Lane Lambert tied it up at 2:58. And the Red Wings had tied it 3-3 before Howsam scored his second goal in his first game in the NHL. The Islanders led it 4-3. But Reed Larson from Yzerman and Duguay at 13:35, and an O'Grodnik and Duguay down the ice together. Nobody back, and O'Grodnik finished it up with his 32nd goal. Duguay and Larson at 17:07, and the Wings skate off, winning it, out shooting New York Islanders 30-24, and thus breaking a 12-game streak without a victory. They had lost 10 and tied 2, and they win their first in 1985, and what a big one against the Islanders here at Nassau Coliseum. It's on to New York for the game against the Rangers Thursday night. Our radio and broadcast time and telecast time, 8 o'clock Thursday night from Madison Square Garden. Until then, this is Bruce Martin speaking for Sid Abel, our producer Toby Cunningham. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast and the telecast of tonight's hockey game, and again that you'll be with us Thursday night at 8 o'clock with the New York Rangers and the Wings at Madison Square Garden. Again, tonight's final score, Detroit 5, New York Islanders 4.
Red Wing Hockey. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Bud Light, the less filling light beer with the first name in taste. And by your 48 Greater Detroit area Midas shops. Trust the Midas touch. And by Thornapple Valley's great tasting hot dogs, hams, bacon, and sausage. And by Little Caesars, with over 150 locations in the Detroit metro area to serve you. And by Michigan National Banks, where you get more for your money. And by JCPenney, your headquarters for Levi corduroy jeans. And by Jeep Corporation, there's a feeling you can get only in a Jeep. This has been a production of the Detroit Red Wings.
Here's Tracy Nickel with the TV 20 News Check.
Good evening.